Hi, my name is Todd Gerke. You've probably seen me around the rink, and if you've participated in Dawg Nation events, probably have one of my Lone Rangers koozies in either your golf or hockey bag. I'm a board member with Dawg Nation and have been part of the organization for several years. I also have a successful mortgage company, and I'm proud to be the streaming sponsor for this year's Dawg Bowl. We help people gain complete control of their lives and become financially free by showing them ways their money can work for them so they can stop working so hard for their money. Our mortgage business is for people that understand that how you structure a mortgage has a significant impact on wealth accumulation. We focus on people who want to understand their options and make educated decisions. And our promise is that by engaging with us, you will gain a lifelong resource to help you accumulate wealth. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you click subscribe below and enjoy the game.
to 18 teams maybe that first year. And now they have 58 with over 1,000 people participating as far as players inside of this tournament. It's absolutely unbelievable. And you wait till you see the competition level of these teams in this Platinum division.
Absolutely. This is the top division here. And we see out here we have Wolf playing the Obby group known as Tag. And we've got Evan Cowley back here from DU fame over here in goal for Tag here this morning.
16-17 in the NCAA, and some great action right off the bat, gentlemen. And excited to be calling this one with you here. A 1-0 game. Troy Terry got him on the board early. Certainly one of the marquee players, not only in this game here, but of course in the entire event.
And it's nice to see him along with Dylan Gambrell out there as well. A couple of DU teammates that are both in the NHL now, and there's Gambrell in front of us, number 7.
And move that puck ahead. This will be picked up in the neutral zone, and Crossman works it inside Tag territory, stuffs it to the front of the net, and a loose puck will trickle off into the corner. Some good end-to-end action to start things off here, Peter.
Well, it was so fascinating because we were talking last night. I didn't know a lot of the players, just sort of seeing them for the first time. A lot of these guys, one team had a lot of CC, Colorado College players. Another team had a lot of freshmen from Denver University. Then there was a team with a lot of pros on. I mean, just a whole. Every team seemed to have a little different feel to it. But the one thing that was really evident yesterday, the goaltending.
Sure.
They were killing me, because I'm not a goaltender fan. I like goals. But the last game was, what, 3-2?
It was 3-2. Sammy Bernard had a terrific game over here for Wolf, and he's back in goal here.
But, I mean, they just stole the show because, both teams, I looked up one time, and I'm expecting guys to just 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s. The guy had a quick break. I turned back, and there's 4 guys back defensively. I'm going, that's not beer league hockey. Give me a break.
Lukasevich has an opportunity, comes in and a shot, and Bernard with a save early on here down in his end. It's been an interesting one for Wolf so far. Not too much action inside of their own end, but now Tag's starting to put on that offensive pressure here. Troy Terry got that early goal, and since Wolf has found a way to put the pressure on. Lukasevich with it now. Up to Gambrell. He'll work it in down along the left-hand side. Looks for an opportunity in front, stuffs it. But Bernard up to the task, and another good save. A little bit of a fast pace of this one as we started off, and right the other way comes Knowlton with a shot, and Cowley the save.
Jimmy.
Transition game in full effect here, and now it's off into the far corner for number 16, Jeremy Rowell. Local coach as well, played at Metro State, but coached the Thunderbirds for quite a while in the area. Been involved with the game of hockey here in Colorado for quite some time. Had a chance to coach with them too.
Well, one of the things that we were talking about again is coming in 25 years ago now, almost 26 years, when coming in with the Avalanche, the hockey and the representation of the talent from just this area. We don't have flown-in talent for this. These are all mostly products of the system that has been put into place, minor hockey league system. It really is exciting.
Wiedemann with a fast break, throws it off to the front of the net, and a shot over there just real quickly by Tommy May. And another good save by Cowley as the puck now back to the point for number 5, Cole Kay. Kay back behind the play. Wolf in control inside of Tag zone. Right in front, quick opportunity and a shot that just goes wide of the net by Tommy May, waiting at the doorstep. Just off to the left, hash marks, and Tag back the other direction with it. Troy Terry lurking along the right side, but the play will be called offside, and we'll get a break with 9:36 to go in period 1. It's a Troy Terry goal to make it 1-0, boys.
That's right. We don't have any commercial breaks.
No commercial. I was thinking about that. That's after the 10-minute mark.
As Mike Schaaf, we've got a commercial break.
Exactly.
We talked about Michael Davies here. And Michael Davies, number 29 out here, was just a highlight reel yesterday. And, boy, he jumped into the play, and he's been active.
Well, I was able to use, just the difference in how the game is played now. When I played way back when, you could tell the difference between a forward and a defenseman. The defenseman couldn't skate. The forwards could skate. The defensemen were just big lugs who just tried to hurt you. And now that the skating ability of the defenseman jumping up into the play. It's the whole concept of hockey has changed so dramatically. You know, you see the shooting ability, the passing ability, the taking the pass ability of all the players now, and you know, these skill camps that they're involved in. You know, it just, as you go along, you can see just how, you know, how well developed these kids are. Everyone talks about, you know, the McCars and these players that come into the National Hockey League, and how they are able to adjust so quickly. Well, here's why. I mean, they've been coming up, they've been playing high school hockey, getting coached the way they're getting coached, and then they play collegiate hockey the way they're getting. I mean, I've watched David Carl's team, the coach here at Denver University, and he had George, and then he had Monty, and he had his mentors, and now he's got his team and how he wants to coach them. He is a great coach.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's not, if he wants to, he can be here for a long time, but I'll be interested to see, you know, what he wants to do with his coaching career.
Well, we'll see the Top Dogs team coming up later on. Certainly stock full of DU prospects and current players. The future very bright for the Pioneers here in the next coming years.
Well, we were also mentioning, when you get to be as good as Denver, and you get a facility like Denver, you get a city like Denver, it's pretty easy to recruit.
Oh, what a gorgeous place to live.
I have talked to George and my brother were roommates in Wisconsin, so I've known him for a long time. But I talked to a lot. You know, he asked me to talk with the parents when they were in town, and you know, it's an easy fly-in. It's, you know, you can come and see your kid play. You know, and just the facility. You don't have to do a whole lot of work. You know,
not much selling. Face
No.
off just off to the left of Cowley now. Still a 1-0 game, under 7 to play here in period number 1. Glad to have you along with us here at the Edge Arena in Colorado as the Dog Bowl trudges on day number 2 for an incredible cause. Puck deep inside tag territory now, and Quisenberry trying to pull this one out. He'll get it. Trying to go topside with it. It'll be held up at the top of the circle and kept inside the zone. Wolf doing a nice job of blocking the zone off. Now it's Turgeon. Dan up the other direction in neutral ice. He'll drop this one off for Lukasevich. Cuts to the middle, takes a shot, and he'll find the back of the net past Bernard to make it a 2-0 game with 6:22 to go.
I got a little highlight here, a little crisscross play right at the blue line, and just great patience with the puck. And again, some of the things that you saw in yesterday's game. Now it's non-contact. So there's a couple of times we're looking at plays, you're going, oh, you know the guy would have come across and maybe taken him out during a normal play. But just great patience through the scoring area. Seen a lot of really nice goals.
There are some finesse players out here, certainly, and taking away contact creates more time and space for those guys, especially when you're not worried about getting upended as you cut across the hash marks or dig in close to the crease. 2-0 game. Troy Terry the first, Lukasevich with the second. Glad to have you along here. Puck now poked out. Wolf looking for anything offensively, but Evan Cowley back in net. He's been very good for this team. He's come up with some very big stops, and that has shifted the momentum. Tag now coming out of their own end. Pass up into neutral ice for Gambrell. He'll work it along the right-hand side, turn towards the boards, and look for an option. Has none, so back to Gambrell. He'll pick up his own pass. Little spinorama at the top of the blue line, still holding it on. Deep over to Davies now. Davies with a nice move, works to the hash marks, fires a shot just wide. Tag with all the pressure in the offensive zone right now, and most of it stemming from a terrific shift by Davies. Lukasevich now back behind the net, held on to it. He's rubbed off along the boards. A little contact like that he can get away with, maybe.
Maybe. No, you could really surprise someone. You decided to get angry at somebody.
I don't think he expected that. And you know that there could be some tempers out there at times. It's hockey.
Well, they
after
better,
all.
you know. But the one thing about it is that they, you know, you have to respect the fact that they're not expecting it.
Correct.
So if you do that, you're right. You deserve whatever comes next.
Putting yourself in a open position to be
Exactly.
hit. We'll just say it like that for right now. Tie with it inside their own end, and Troy Terry with the puck in the corner. He'll lose that off of a rub-off on the boards, and Wolf will come the other direction with it. Justin White throws it to the front of the net, trying to knock it in is Steve Quaver, but nothing happens there, and a little tangle up. They're just hugging. Just having a little wrestle behind the net there, and temper's starting to increase a little bit. You can tell Wolf maybe getting a touch frustrated here. They've had some good offensive opportunities, but haven't been able to convert yet.
Yeah, and you know, it was interesting listening to last year, Troy Terry. I mean, talking about they lost, and he was upset. You know, so the competitive nature of how these games are played, I mean, you know, it looks pretty casual out here, but they don't like losing. They don't like losing. That's not the nature of why you play hockey. You play hockey to win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it. It's for fun, obviously, but you still like to win.
Skates go on, stick in hand. It's go time. Wolf now with an opportunity in the hash marks once more with a chance with Justin White, and that one will trickle off into the corner as Troy Terry brings it through the neutral zone the other direction. He's got some time and space. Just is so patient and confident with the puck. Works it to the hash marks center of the screen and just can't get a shot off right there.
I think what upset Tag last year the most was they didn't even make the final.
So now how does it work? There's 6 teams in the Platinum.
6 teams, and these games are going to determine the semifinals, which will be played this evening.
So 2 teams are dropped out because of their record?
That's right.
And now are there ties or is there overtime?
There will be an overtime, I believe. Nick? There'll be an overtime, I believe.
I do believe
only in the finals.
In the finals?
And I believe then that they continue to play that until the winner. No shootouts. There could be, I believe, a shootout here. I think they'll play a 5-minute overtime and then a quick shootout to determine a winner. In games that make a decision, round robins, shootout. All right, drop pass here, and Wolf coming the other direction with it. Ostro in neutral ice. Betten worked off the puck by Angeli. Now picked back up, and Wolf the other direction. Crossman with it inside the zone. Drop pass to Ostro. Quick shot and a save by Cowley. Trickles into the corner and creates an opportunity the other direction. Not much chance here for McClellan. One-on-one, gets a shot off, but a nice save by Bernard. Wolf the other way with a 2-on-2. Far side of your screen, that's number 9, Dalton Spielman. Works in, quick shot, drop pass, and a save by Cowley.
McClellan's one of those interesting guys. He's not big, and but he had a really, really solid, fun career at Denver University. Obviously, his dad, a National Hockey League coach, but now he's playing in Germany, and that is one of the things that has really, I think, grown. The ability to play the game, maybe not at the National Hockey League level, or anything like that, but at a level you can still have a lot of fun.
Sure.
I know so many people that have gone to Europe and stayed there. 10, 12 years they played over in Europe. So there are so many fun opportunities in the game.
Yeah, you make a good career over there. You make some money. It's tax-free. They give you a car. They give you an apartment. They normally have an expense account for you. It's easy money, and you're still playing a game at a real competitive level. Drop pass here in front. Nice touch pass and a beautiful goal, and that'll make it 3-0, and it all starts on a beautiful touch pass by Jimmy Knowlton, by Dylan Gambrell in front of the net. And just like that, gentlemen, with under a minute to go in the first, it is a 3-rip game. Take a look at the replay here.
Well, again, Gambrell with the San Jose Sharks, you're just seeing that little bit of difference. Nice pass back, but you see on the right side, man opens up, does a nice job cross body, really, a good shot, but nice passing to free him up.
Tag putting the screws to Wolf right now, and more offensive pressure for them in the waning seconds of period number 1. The clock's at 10, and Wolf with one last little chance for a push here before the period concludes. Flipped up high into the neutral zone, but knocked back on a beautiful defensive play by Michael Davies, who was in the right place to break up the last rush. And period number 1 will come to a close with a 3-0 lead for the gentlemen in white.
I'll tell you what, Wolf had a good game last night, but this is a different story. Now they're playing against, Gambrell, as well as obviously Troy Terry, and they've got a purpose today, like you said. Yeah. Tag needs to win this game, and they need to win it big.
Yeah, they got beat last night. Troy Terry tied it up 4-4 inside of 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it looked like, okay, it's going to be, and then 5-4, they got scored against, so they end up losing in regulation. And it was, when Troy scored, he went by, he got the high five and the whole thing. He slapped in the hands, and then all of a sudden, boom.
And then Denver Concrete comes back.
But it is so funny talking with Marty, Richardson, saying that every one of these coaches is like, oh, we got a bad team, terrible team. Oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to. And then you end up one gentleman told me, well, I think we'll only have 7 or 8 guys. They had to sit out some guys. These lineups are packed. There's 13, 14, 15 guys on every team.
And I'll tell you what, I'm down there with the rosters, and the other guys come up, the other team come up, and they go, who does this guy have? And then they see Nolan Foote out there.
These guys are sneaking into the lineup. They're coming in the back door to step into these teams.
Great for the players, not so great for us broadcasters trying to scramble and put notes together here and call a hockey game.
It was so funny. I was trusted Warren last night like, whoo, okay. But the one thing I did walk away, I walked away with the impressive class of freshmen for DU. Is that what did they have, 6 or 7 in the one team?
They had 7 players on that team, 6 of them freshmen.
6 of them freshmen. And the one kid I'm watching, and there's a play coming down the far side, and all of a sudden this bullet just flies by, and I go, who's that? Oh, that's a 17-year-old. What?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
How old is this kid?
Yeah. The future is bright for the game of hockey, and especially, as I said earlier, for the Pioneers. Well, Tag starting the second off with more pressure, and a quick shot from the point here. Doesn't make it all the way through. Jeremy Rowell, a little 6'4", 216-pounder, putting some wood on that one, but didn't catch it clean, and that's probably a good thing for Bernard there.
And one of the things, and I think this has really helped, in just the exposure. We know a lot of scouts.
Yes.
And my brother was talking. He works for Anaheim, just retired, but he was sending the scouts here to Colorado. They can go down to Air Force. They can catch CC. You can see DU. You can watch DU practice, then go watch the Colorado Eagles, and then the next night do the same thing with somebody and then watch the Avalanche.
And keep in mind, you've also got top-tier AAA programs here with the 16U teams being very, very good. I mean, and don't think that guys aren't getting eyes on them already. I mean, even for a guy like DC here in Denver, I mean, he's got access to 3 elite programs that he can start to scope and get eyes on guys.
That's a perfect point. I mean, you look at Dylan Gambrell, he comes out of Washington. The closest real good AAA program was Colorado. I guess he could have gone down to the Kings, but that's how he found himself here, and I'm sure DU found him that way as well.
Nice goal right there, and Wolf gets themselves on the board with a snipe down low. Is in transition. They find a way to get behind Tag. Here's a look at the replay.
Again, the guys in the slot, this is what we've seen, just play after play. It's not like they're scrambling to push the puck in the net, just great shots and great movement. Goalie just drops for a second, and when he does, great shot.
It was terrific. That was James Crossman, who played here, and James Crossman is a local product, played for the Colorado Thunderbirds, and he's a terrific defenseman out there. Played with Nolan Foote when they were in youth hockey here locally.
We got a treat last night because Nolan, if you know Nolan, one of his claims to fame is the shot.
Oh, yes.
He has got a bomb, and he got himself set up for one, and it was classic. It was just a rocket. It was a goal scorer's goal by Mr. Foote. I'm not sure his dad could do it. There was a funny thing about his brother Cal Foote. When they were in the hockey news, they had a little description the year he was going to be drafted, and they said, Cal Foote, really solid defensively, knows the game well. Said, not as tough as his dad, but then again, who is?
I'll tell you what a great hockey family that is as well. And it was Troy Terry with a chance here. This one will come high up and off the glass behind Bernard. Doesn't connect. Wolf with a little bit of offensive pressure, but Tag doing their best to stem it. And Troy Terry playing intense right now. He'll make a change, but the entire Tag line will. But man, oh man, Wolf's starting to find a little bit of momentum here.
I think what's most impressive about Wolf is they had that late game, and yet they were hanging out for a little bit after.
See what you're saying.
I didn't see Troy Terry. I think Troy Terry went home and got some sleep.
Wait a minute. What do you expect hockey players to do?
Exactly.
What time? They're going to head home for a little.
Exactly.
You're not a hockey player if you're home.
You're cracking a couple. Quick shot in front here, and Bernard coming up big on 2 quick saves in front on Davies with back-to-back shots. Now Wolf with a chance the other direction, working in front of the net. A little bit of a miscommunication there, and Ostro ends up running into his man May, and the play comes the other direction on a fast break by McClellan. Tyson trying to get something going here, has to steer towards the boards and dump it off to the far side. Now into the hands of number 29, Michael Davies. Davies circles in, works to the top of the circle, comes in unscathed, loses the puck, and it trickles across over to number 5, Tyson McClellan. McClellan loses it behind the net, and Wolf will slow play it out of their own ends. Near side boards on a quick rush is Cole Cavey. Down low to Ostro. Ostro fires it but wide. Puck in the corner now. Wolf still controlling. Turnover now at the blue line and tag the other direction with it. That'll be number 5, McClellan in again. Quick shot, making the save is Bernard, and the puck up and out of play. We were talking earlier, Peter, about the circumstances not being great at Pierre Lacroix's memorial a couple of weeks ago, but so amazing to see so many great hockey people and from all walks of the game come together to celebrate a man who, the architect, one of the most incredible human beings I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah, it's, it was anybody that knew him. I was talking with people, and you try to describe Pierre, and it's so different. The only word that ever came to mind for me was unique. Not in the fact that he was unique, because he absolutely was, but it's a fairly simple word. What the unique part was every single person had a unique relationship and a unique experience with Pierre. Because he went out of his way to talk with you, interact with you. He and I had an interesting relationship because he knew my dad from, way back. And, so he was just such a true gentleman. And, hockey here in Colorado, this is what we're watching here today. A lot of it is the fact that when he came in, he said the number one thing we're going to do, we're going to be part of this community. We're not sitting on the outside. We are going to be part of the community.
Well, and a big part of that, of being part of the community, of course, he brought the Avalanche, the junior Avalanche, to the Quebec tournament. And that was a big deal. It exposed people to that French-Canadian hockey that we were talking about yesterday.
Also a big proponent of creating that Quebec tournament was part of Eric Lacroix's legacy. Chance here for Wolf to bring it within one. Quick shot all by himself on the far side was James Crossman, and Crowley had to make 2 big saves there. Back the other way. Tag now with a chance and a beautiful goal and some excellent patience to make it a 4-1 game. Absolutely perfect. You gotta love a play like that down low, and well, you don't always have to rush things. And as you'll see by the replay right here, it's a bad turnover, and then it's just nice patience and a nice goal.
I've been lucky enough to be around the game, for a long time. You see different players. Well, you cover Chicago.
Yes.
My very, very number one player that I would pay to see, Patrick Kane.
Oh my goodness.
And people say, well, why?
So special.
I have never seen anybody number one at the patience, but he has that special ingredient that I find to be the number one thing that I enjoy, imagination. His imagination with the puck is second to none.
I know you've been to morning skates, and chance in front here, and Cowley holds on with number 17, Jeff Rogers, banging on the doorstep. 4-1, under 7 to go, period number 2. The guy's the first one on the ice for morning skate or practice. He's the last guy off. He's intellectual. He's a hockey nerd. He watches every game every night. And you sit there and you have a conversation with him, or I'll interview him after a game. And you can just see him thinking and creating and processing, and it's incredible. Probably the highlight of my career was being the first one to interview him after his 1,000th point at a sold-out United Center on a big win in a pivotal game 2 seasons ago. And I can't say enough about Patrick Kane. I agree with you.
Yeah, what I enjoy is he'll set the whole pace to the game. I mean, he does stuff with the puck. He slows it down. He speeds it up. Everybody plays at his pace.
Massive set of saves for Cowley in front. An unbelievable, impressive performance there. I think we're going to get a replay on this, but he made 4 saves in a row to keep this a 4-1 hockey game. Look at this.
Look at the action in front. And again, some of the things that have really changed. It used to be that the wingers would stay way up high with the defensemen. Now they just crash down low. There is so much activity in and around the goaltenders now. It's a much more physical position than it used to be. A lot of times it used to just be the defenseman and the centerman and the 3 forwards. Now you got all kinds of people crashing down.
Great job by Shaw Hockey Productions to pick that up as well. Gotta love it.
Oh, he's on top of his game again today.
That's going to hurt a little bit. A stinger. That might have caught him where you don't want to get hit with a punt. If you're
that would be anywhere with me. I don't know. Blocking shots is not a forte.
certainly not in that area. Big shot and a save here by Bernard. He'll make another, and the puck will trickle off back to the right of Sam Bernard, the goaltender. Now it's flipped down high through the crease. Evan Cowley will play it up and off the boards as his team changes. His timing there and a good lead pass by Cowley. Looking to pick up an assist on the play. This will be thrown out into neutral territory by Wolf. Picked up by Tag. Cross pass to Troy Terry. He'll cross inside Wolf territory. Top of the circle right into the hash marks. Dishes across, and that pass to Troy just skates by as he was thinking change. Tommy May the other direction. Tries to go top shelf. Had the corner. Better to go up and out of play, and he missed that one by just a little bit. It looked like something I would do.
Well, but we had a great angle. He had a little spot.
He did.
And he just missed it high and wide.
That sound off the glass and the post, that chime pretty much defined my youth hockey career. So I didn't get the back of the net much, boys. So I got out of the broadcast.
Where did you play?
I played at CompuWare in Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
So I was there with Mike Vellucci and Peter DeBoer, Steve Spotts. All those guys were chumming around that organization when I grew up.
Because CompuWare was, hasn't been around for a long time. It's been around. Now it's been around for a while.
And a quick tap-in goal with a beautiful pass from the back of the net, and Tag makes it a 5-1 game on Jared Lukasevich's second of the evening.
But the CompuWare Detroit, I'm so old. I was there before CompuWare. The Hows had their team and junior team. Yep. And what was the?
Well, there was Honey Bake, there was Little Caesars, there was Bell Tire.
But the Hows were. I forget, but they were the first ones that really introduced the Detroit, Michigan hockey world. And they played up in Canada. They played over 100 games a year with the Howe brothers, Mark and Marty. Got to know them, really well.
A nice little touch there in front of the net, and maybe a little tempers for Tyson McClellan as he tried to make a quick move in front. Didn't get all the way through to Bernard. The Tag in good shape, up 5-1 with 2:40 to go in period number 2. The Tag back behind the net. It's Matt Tabram. Tabram will leave it on the tee, and the Tag will quickly and efficiently come out of their own end. Over to McClellan. McClellan, a little backhand pass. He gets stood up, and the other direction in a 2-on-1 here. Far side, it's Cavey. Cavey in, takes it the entire way. Hustling to get back into the play was Michael Davies, and an easy save for Evan Cowley on a 2-on-1 that didn't convert for Wolf. Up to the point, dumped in deep. That's 15 Rogers. Rogers now back behind the play. Tag will retrieve the puck and work it out of their own zone. Flicked to the point, but not out. Dumped back in by Rogers, far side. Now it's picked up and circled back by Quisenberry. Quisenberry will hold and neutral ice. Wolf looking to make a change. Quick tap pass. Quisenberry gets it back, fires a shot. This one high off the glass and wide. It'll work itself all the way out to neutral ice. Picked up here by Qualler. Qualler patient with it. Back behind his own net. He'll make a move. Trying to clear it out, but outnumbered. Hand pass on the play there?
I'm not sure what.
He passed it to himself.
Last night, they were calling penalties. There was no penalty clock. Guys were going into the box. We had no idea who was over there.
We didn't even know there was a penalty.
We didn't know there was a penalty. We look over, some guy sitting in the box.
We found out there was a first penalty when they called the second one, and it was a 5-on-3, and then we discovered we had missed one. We almost missed both of them, Peter.
Exactly. Really alert.
Oh, goodness.
We picked up everything.
Oh, goodness. I showed up this morning. You know us broadcasters. I prep 3 hours before games.
Oh, yeah.
I've got my numbers. I've got my notes. I'm writing numbers down right before I'm going on the. I'm working with you guys. I'm like, what is going on this morning? I need more coffee or a whiskey.
Yeah.
That's right. You go in the locker room and you ask if they have lines, and they look at you like, "What are you talking about?"
It is classic. Next guy out. They open the door, they come out. They open the other door, they go in. That's just how it works.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Keeps us sharp in the off season here, boys. Keeps us sharp. Oh goodness. Wolf with it back on their stick. Justin White with a chance. Fires this one just wide. Oh, goodness. Cowley has had some work, and when he has had to be impressive, he has done so. Now the other direction, Tag with a 2-on-1. Far side, 19. Abby fires it over to number 7. Gambrell gets a shot and a quick save by Bernard as period number 2 comes to a conclusion, and it's 5-1, Tag in the lead, boys.
Yeah, again, you just see that little bit of difference last night, and our team in pink, which last night when they stepped on the ice, I said, that's impressive, to be able to carry off pink like that.
Well, not everybody can do it.
Not everybody, but they were playing against bright orange, so it's pink against orange, not your classic NHL color.
No, those aren't normal for you.
Well, get this, before that game, they almost made pink change. And the only jerseys they had were black ones with no numbers on them.
Yeah, let's not go down that road.
No, they were black with black numbers. They were really going to test it.
Now, this new thing with jerseys, they're making them more and more complicated. The one that just kills me as a broadcaster is the camouflage one with camouflage numbers.
Oh, I think some of the toughest ones were the New York Rangers. The Rangers ones were really hard for broadcasters.
Sure.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
they were tough for a while, and
Edmonton threw me off this year a little bit.
Did
sometimes with the what was it, the orange on with the blue numbers on the back, that got a little blurry.
And the retro jerseys. Although, how was your retro jersey, Chicago's?
No, we didn't change it. Ours was just ours was the old school Hawks white jersey.
Okay, well the Avalanche one. Did you see that one?
Oh yeah.
Man, the first time it was because they did a really nice job of honoring sort of the Nordiques.
Yes, loved it. I loved it
because I played in that old division, the Adams division, with Boston and Quebec and Montreal, and the Quebec jersey was fantastic.
So good.
And they put the two together, really well.
I love the honoring of the heritage that the Avalanche do for that, Nordique sort of birthplace, and it's always been fantastic. I wasn't always an Avalanche fan. I grew up in Detroit, Nabber. So, it was, there was a, when I moved here, the love had to come and grow.
I think for hockey fans here, sometimes you've gotten to the point, because it was in the late 90s, early 2000s. A lot of people don't remember it. It was the best rivalry in hockey. I think because of how it's set up and the game has changed, it will go down as the last great rivalry that had the kind of vicious intensity that that was there.
Oh, and a quick snipe in front, and Sam Bernard lets his frustration out a little bit, but you can't leave Dylan Gambrell on the doorstep like that, as you'll see in the replay here. That is not the guy you want alone with time and space.
Yeah, just top shelf far, just a great shot. But again, you're just seeing that little bit of a difference between somebody that obviously plays in the National Hockey League and some of these collegiate guys and guys that are just having fun.
I think that's one of the biggest questions I always get is, what's the difference between the NHL and the AHL and major junior or college? And it's the speed of the game and the pace at which you have to make the decisions happen quickly.
Yeah, your ability to make the play at the speed you're going at. A lot of guys can skate really fast.
Chance here. Rowell, quick shot. Nice save by Evan Cowley as he continues to be magnificent between the pipes. Back the other way. Troy Terry tripped up at the blue line. No call. Let that one go too. All righty. 9:50.
Stanley Cup playoffs.
No big deal. Calling us like it's OT in Game 7, boys. Quick shot here. Backdoor pass and a beautiful tic-tac-toe, but Dan Turgeon can't get it past as Bernard comes sprawling across the crease to make that save. Now it's in the neutral zone on the stick of number 19, Cole Quisenberry. Quisenberry will dump it in and comes back up to the point now. Thrown towards the net. Steered off to the side by Cowley. And the pace slowing down a little here as teams get tired. But an opportunity now for Troy Terry Partial breakaway, makes a move. Nice pull, but a good defensive play by Cole Cavey. Manages to get back and cut off an elite youngster from an open opportunity on Bernard.
That's got to be a highlight for Cole Cavey. He's playing a little D3 hockey right now, and
Just stopped Troy Terry on a fast break.
that's right.
Up top, 8:48. Gotta love this game, boys. 6-1. Glad to have you along here. This one will trickle through the neutral zone, back inside tag territory. They're in white, skating from left to right on your television screen.
Now, is the semifinal game tonight?
It's tonight. There's 2 semifinal games, and we'd love to have you. It is, let's see, I believe it's about 7:45 or so is that game.
Well, we're having some, the girls are graduating from high school, so we've got a few things going on now. It's amazing. The twins are 18.
Goodness gracious.
It's like,
How's that feel?
what? It's like my daughter called me, a while ago, and she said, "Dad, how's it feel that she's now 41, but the year she turned 40, how's it feel to have a daughter that's 40 years old?" I go, not that great, I got to tell you. So, but it's obviously 2 groups. There's 40 and 39 with grandkids, and then 20, and the twins are 18. But it's so it's funny. You can relate to these kids. I'm meeting some of the young players for D. You're the same age as my daughters. I know all the tricks. They try to
Don't give me that.
Don't give me that one, big boy. I've seen it all.
You gotta do the you gotta lean the shovel on the couch when they come over to visit.
Well, you got to stand. The old trick is you stand on the top step when they ring the doorbell. So, and you look down and you make your voice, "Hello." And one of the great lines is, "Come on in and sit down. Let's not talk. Let's just look at each other."
No thanks.
And
That's intimidating.
Oh my gosh! You just gotta stem them quickly.
I love it. I love it. Oh, 6:45 to go here, period 3. Tag well on their way to finding success in this one, and barring a miracle, Troy Terry got him off to an early start. Lukasevich has played a very good game with 2 goals, and Wolf just trying to hang on in this one, but certainly an inspired game from the team in white right from the very get-go. Quick shot here off the stick of number 10, Kyle Ostro, and Cowley again with a beautiful save. He's been fantastic.
Every time they try to make a little bit of a comeback, Cowley's just made a really strong save. A couple of times they could have made it, 5-2, 4-3, 4-2, whatever. He just said, no, it's not happening.
Pivotal moments and easy-looking saves as well. I don't even know if he's sweating down there. He probably is, but he's been up to the task. Tag the other direction with it. Nate Davies, he's got one. Fires a shot, tried to go low blocker, and Bernard makes a nice one. And it's Wolf back the other direction to the stick of number 10. Ostro fires this one just wide. Cowley didn't have to do anything on that other than take the angle. Puck into neutral ice. Now it's on the stick of number 13, Adrian Weideman. He'll go cross ice to Knowlton, back to Weideman. He'll work it out of his own zone in neutral ice. That was Avi trying for the poke check, but a shot off the stick of Weideman as he worked it all the way from his own blue line in, and Cowley with another stop. Now it's deep back inside tag territory. Wolf with a little bit of puck patience now as they get it back up to the point. Fires this shot in, ball from the point is Cavey. Cowley another save. Pushed out and a nice touch pass by Troy Terry to send it the other direction to the stick of Engeli. Engeli back to the point. He gets it back low. Tough angle. Fires this one wide, high off the glass. Not a play for a stoppage with under 5 to go here in period 3.
Now who's up next?
We have, let's see, you've got the schedule there. I don't have it in front of me. I think it's Denver Concrete
and FirstBank.
And I believe it's FirstBank. And that Denver Concrete squad, that was with Nolan Foote that we saw yesterday. So we're going to get a chance to see him again.
Appreciate you boys hanging out with us today here.
Well, this is, I'll tell you what, I was happy to have you take the morning game.
It's, not to be silly, but it's just a lot of different names, trying to put it all together.
Oh, goodness gracious.
There's no little nuance. Oh, I know who that is. The guy's how he skates. You're looking around and going, okay.
so much of what we do as broadcasters when you're with the team specifically. You look at your Avalanche team, I look at the Chicago Blackhawks, or when I was with the Vegas Golden Knights, and you don't even need names and numbers. You just know guys by their skating style or by just the helmet they're wearing.
Yeah, they open the door for morning skate. They step on the ice, you know who it is.
Exactly. Quick shot up and off the glass.
I was going to say, it's interesting. You know, I do a lot of youth hockey, and so many times you don't have nameplates on it. And then I was doing a men's game here, and they had all the nameplates. And I said, that's a crutch. I don't want the nameplates because I can't see a nameplate when I'm looking for a sleeve number or something on the breezers, you know? So,
you know what? When did they become breezers? First time I heard that, I didn't know what they were talking about.
Well, they got the shells now, right? Like
Well,
they have their own.
Well, what did they call it in the old days?
Pants.
Hockey pants.
They were hockey pants. It was like somebody said, I got my breezers, and I'm like, what in the heck is a breezer?
It doesn't sound tough enough for hockey.
How about the sweater?
I like sweater. I'm fine with sweaters still.
But it was I was lost. The guy says, you got a bigger pair of breezers. And I go, what exactly are we talking about here, young man?
Goodness. Tag with control now inside Wolf territory, just playing with it. Up top on the stick of Davies. He'll wait, cut low, has an option back high, doesn't take it. Back down around the net. Looks for somebody up high. Everybody pinching down low. Only one defenseman back on the point, and that's Matt Tabram. Interesting strategy. Tabram is down low. And now they'll get two back up at the point. Puck will come in. Wolf will make the save, and Bernard holds on for a whistle. 6-1.
Now, when you're covering the Blackhawks,
yes, sir.
Because one of the phenomena that I'm watching, you're seeing it a little bit here. And I swear, Nathan McKinnon started it.
Okay.
That when he is up high with the two defensemen on either side, pulling everybody out, how he has changed the offensive flow of the game in the National Hockey League. You see more and more teams going to that high forward. Now, it's dangerous. But, you get a guy like McKinnon up top, and then you get guys floating in for the side, and you're seeing it at all levels now.
Well, you see him take those chances in a game where they have a little bit of time and space like this. Also, when they have teams that they think they've worn down a little bit. Patrick Kane did it a little bit for us, but McKinnon is so magical. He's changed the way that the hockey game flows on such a level that it's I think, you talk about Patrick Kane. I think watching McKinnon play is as marvelous as Kaner is sometimes.
We were talking about it last night, the speed of the game. And you're just seeing it out here. 5 years ago, the pace wouldn't be like this. 10 years ago, certainly would have been as this game is being played, with just the skating ability of these players. But I was doing the game one time between the Avalanche and Edmonton. And McDavid went up the ice twice on the same shift, and McKinnon went up the ice twice, right through the neutral zone. I was doing a game between the benches. And then there was the puck was, shot out of the rink, and I was doing a commercial. So I sat down, and I can honestly remember saying to myself, I never thought the game would be played at this pace.
Yes.
It's just faster than anything I ever could have imagined.
It's so lightning quick on such a level, and guys do it so well that you can't but marvel at the pace of the game.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like last night, that the kid went by, and I was like, my goodness gracious. He is just a rocket.
Off to the far side here. Under 30 to go in our first of three that I'll be along with you for. I know Peter's hanging out. Manny, you're hanging out with us, aren't you?
I'm going to be hanging out. Enjoy listening to two professionals like you guys. This is just seeing the scramble.
No, but you know the word that I always get the biggest kick at?
What's that?
They call us the talent.
Yes.
And I'm like, talent or what?
I don't know.
What in heaven's name is that supposed to mean?
I don't answer to that often.
I don't.
I'm like, who's here?
Well, I'm not at home, I'll tell you that.
Pat Foley and Eddie Olczyk? Mosier and McNabb? Yeah, that's talent.
Oh, my goodness.
Final horn sounds here. A 6-1 final. Troy Terry and Tag come away with a big win over Wolf. Let's get some final thoughts here, gentlemen, before the Zamboni comes off and we get a drink of water before the next puck drop.
Well, I think they were motivated.
They were.
Now, they got good goaltending. He was probably really good in this.
Oh, yes.
But they started strong, and you could see that they wanted to make sure that they were going to be playing later tonight in that semifinal series.
That's absolutely right, and we saw the big guns come out. You mentioned Troy Terry, but obviously Dylan Gambrell also. Dylan's been kind of quiet in this tournament over the past couple of last year he was. And like you said, they were very disappointed not to be in that championship game.
Well, and Evan Cowley stood out for me, too. I mean, we talked about him the entire game, but Naber, you mentioned it. When he had to make a big save, he came up with the big save. And saves like that obviously keep the scoreboard where you want it, but it also starts to hammer at the morale a little.
Well, and plus, you look at the score, 6-1, and it wasn't a 6-1 game.
Nope.
I mean, there was a lot of chances both ways. With Troy Murray and Gambrell, they had a little better finish in a couple of situations. But, both teams, I thought, were much more even than a 6-1 score. The goalie was really good.
We're going to take a quick break now. There won't be a commercial. However, we'll get a beverage of some veracity, and we'll be back with you for our next game coming up in just about 10 minutes or so. For Manny Furtado and Peter McNabb, the Peter McNabb. I'm Nick Gismondi. We'll be right back with you most quickly.
Thank you for watching. I'm Todd Gerke, the official mortgage company sponsor of Dawg Nation in partnership with Shaw Hockey Productions. Stay tuned for more great coverage of the Dawg Bowl. We'll see you at the next face-off. Hi, my name is Todd Gerke. You've probably seen me around the rink, and if you've participated in Dawg Nation events, probably have one of my Lone Rangers koozies in either your golf or hockey bag. I'm a board member with Dawg Nation and have been part of the organization for several years. I also have a successful mortgage company, and I'm proud to be the streaming sponsor for this year's Dawg Bowl. We help people gain complete control of their lives and become financially free by showing them ways their money can work for them so they can stop working so hard for their money. Our mortgage business is for people that understand that how you structure a mortgage has a significant impact on wealth accumulation. We focus on people who want to understand their options and make educated decisions. And our promise is that by engaging with us, you will gain a lifelong resource to help you accumulate wealth. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you click subscribe below and enjoy the game.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next game coming up in just a moment here. But first, Jake Schroeder with the national anthem. Jake Schroeder with the national anthem, of course, the iconic anthem voice of the Colorado Avalanche. And I'm Nick Gismondi alongside Peter McNabb and Manny Furtado. And you know what, Peter? I think we got two of the best anthem singers in the league. I've got Jim Corneliuson in Chicago, and you've got Jake Schroeder in Colorado.
Drake is great, absolutely. But I have told more people, if you want to see one hockey moment, be there for the national anthem in Chicago.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough. What was the year that they had the Chicago Stadium where all of the Middle East, I mean, all of the stuff was going on. I happened to be there that year. I don't think I've ever felt anything like that old Chicago Stadium and the way that, the national anthem and, it was and what I'm really impressed with how they were able to bring the same atmosphere, because I thought it would be lost when they came over to the new building, and it's not. It is just cool.
The United Center rocks, and I know on behalf of all of the folks in Chicago and the organization, they cannot wait to have a full building when we drop the puck next season in Chicago. Big game here between the top Dawgs and FirstBank, a roster chock full of NHL legends and future DU stars. Glad to have you along for this one. I'm Nick Gismondi alongside Peter McNabb and Manny Furtado. Glad to be bringing you this one from the Edge Arena here in Colorado on day 2 of the Dawg Bowl, an incredible event that raises money for so many needing people. And Johnny Mitchell, a young man who I'm familiar with all the way back to our Plymouth Whaler days in the Ontario Hockey League, with a chance and a quick shot in front of the net. And Austin Shaw with a big save on Mitch.
Well, Johnny Mitchell, he has done so much. Listen, Marty just shows up in the middle of a broadcast, and it doesn't matter what we're talking about.
That's okay, Peter. Just throwing autographs out.
Sorry, Marty. Are we bothering
you?
Let's
just get a quick autograph, and then we'll go back to our John Mitchell story.
Yeah, this is. You never
Peter
know.
McNabb, such a celebrity. Chance in front and a beautiful goal, and it's number 18, Massimo Rizzo, putting the Dawgs on the board to make it a 1-0 game.
Do you want to say anything
on
now,
a quick passing play?
You beat
13-17. All right. Marty, how are you, sir?
Oh, that's good. That was Peter McNabb just signed our DU jersey that's getting signed by every ex-DU player here at the tournament.
Well, that is an auction item, of course. That is something that is available, and all of that goes towards the charity. And since we've got you here, why don't you just talk a little bit about another beautiful shot here, one moment, and a beautiful save by Shaw on Carter Mazur, DU freshman. Nicely done there. On what this event means and exactly what we can expect and where the money's going this year.
Yeah, so thank you, first off, and for both of you guys being here. We can't do this without a ton of people stepping up, and almost everybody here all doing this for free, including every referee, every scorekeeper, every broadcaster, and we're helping 4 families this weekend. And one of them is Heather Karras and her family. She passed away just 2 days ago. And she's got 10 members of her family, all heartbroken, going to be at the Survivor game today. We're trying to figure out a way to actually do a slideshow right here in front of us, tribute to Heather, and 10 members of her family will be sitting right in front of us there.
Yeah, you certainly know, and you and I have talked about this, how to tug at the heartstrings, but you do it in such a way that it just brings out the true emotion of the moments.
Thank you.
That is going to be absolutely.
Yeah.
You were talking about the son Mike and how he, he came and played.
Yeah, came and played.
His son, and
less than 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours. He just wanted to be here for his mom.
The game of hockey is something that I owe many in everything that I have too. And when I see what you do here with this organization, it's incredible to me, and I'm always honored to be a part of it because I owe this game so much. I think we all do. Yeah. And I think when you have an opportunity to pay it back or use it as a vehicle to help other people, there's no questioning how much you can give for a cause like this. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's truly amazing.
It's been really neat to see all these guys step up, and we're going to really surprise the family today.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big number.
It's great having you, and thanks for having us.
The silent auction, what's this up to?
It's up to about $40,000 right now.
Let's go.
He was, because if you don't know Marty I have known Marty now, and I have tried to say no. I have, done my best to say, okay, I'll eventually say yes, but I'm trying to say no. And he just will not stop. He's like a dog on a bone. He just, and when he calls you, this is how it happens. If he's called you and we're just going to talk hockey, because he gets up early, I'll get up early. Yeah. There's a nice little cadence to how he speaks and whatever. When I know he wants something, I say, Maxie, how you doing? Listen, I got something I want you to do. I got a couple of phone calls I got to make, but I want to talk to you for some minutes. And if I can get you to promise, and then get this other guy to do it, and if I get to them, then we're all set for the whole situation. What do you think? And I'm like,
yes?
Yeah, okay, Marty. Nice talking to you. But I also have my egg timer.
Yeah.
I've got 10 minutes with Marty. Otherwise, it's an all-day situation.
Yeah. Lately, honestly, though, for me, it's a wonderful during the playoffs. Literally, just talk hockey in the morning, and he gets up really early. I get up really early before our wives, and it was fun. Yeah. Oh, it really is. We just talk about the game from the night before.
He has no idea what he's talking about. But it's fun to talk to him.
Yeah.
Marty, no, that's not. Oh yeah, no. I said no, Marty, that's not.
I love it. The game of hockey is a unifier, that is for sure. And I was just saying how much of a pleasure it is to be here and be on the air with Nabber and Manny. I mean, these are guys that I love, and these are guys that I enjoy listening to and broadcasting with. And obviously, it's cool to be on the air with friends and get to talk about a game that means so much.
Well, I'll let you guys get back to it. Great job. Thanks
again.
so
much.
No, stop by whenever you want. You know?
We love seeing you.
Be good, bud.
All right, a 1-0 game. 9 to play here, period number 1. The man behind the whole thing, Martin.
Behind everything.
Yeah, glad to have him along. And we got Manny back on the headset now. No more autographs mid-broadcast here, Mr. McNabb.
I think you gave a couple yesterday mid-broadcast.
That's great.
But that is so Marty. It's unreal. He just shows up, and he's got something for you to do. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're supposed to just go, okay, no problem.
That might be a first. And talk about first, a beautiful goal at the side of the net that Casey Sherwood wasn't even sure was in, but a tie hockey game, 1-1 on a beautiful one-timer low.
Bobby Brink just made a beautiful play there, and we saw Bobby Brink in World Juniors, and he's out there with one of his line mates out there, McCade Webster, who's centering this line for him.
Number 24, Bobby Brink, beautiful goal there. That ties things up at 1-1. John Mitchell opened the scoring just a few seconds into the broadcast, right as Marty showed up, and we are all tied up in a fast-paced game to kick things off. Our second here of the day on Shaw Hockey Productions. Glad to have you along. Nick Gismondi, Peter McNabb, Manny Furtado. Quick shot here. This one will just go back and wide. And FirstBank starting to put the pressure on there in the orange. We'll get to some of those other details for you right away. Austin Shaw in net for FirstBank. They're the home team. The away team, the Top Dogs, they're wearing white.
Top Dogs, nice uniforms this year.
Pretty stylish.
I'll tell you what, they look great last year. Marty had these dark-on-dark jerseys, and they were really hard to see. Not only that, but he had 2 number 23s out there. He had Milan Hajduk with one of them, and he had Derek Armstrong's son with the other one. And every time they would touch the puck, I would be like, is that Hajduk or is that Armstrong?
And you couldn't tell the difference?
Well, you could a little bit.
I was just going to say.
Milan Hajduk gets the puck. You know Milan Hajduk got the puck.
That's right. He was also the 6th man on the ice when they pulled the goalie.
Rizzo with the headman pass. It'll trickle just inside FirstBank territory. Now it's backhanded up to the top of the circle for Hilbrick. Hilbrick will work it up along the boards to Webster. Webster far right side. Nice little toe drag to the hash mark. Drop pass shot, scores! Christian Hilbrick, after he started the play, finishes it to make it a 2-1 game on a beautiful tic-tac-toe passing play.
I think this is a gentleman, when you're watching this shot, that played last year in Germany. He's over visiting a family here, and I was talking to the mom, not his mom, but the place where he said he's never seen anybody eat as much as this kid. So he's over saying hello. He's eating them out of house and home.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch. He puts it on the board. It's a 2-1 game. 6:15 to go. Get that guy a burger. FirstBank with all the pressure. Drop pass. Again, a quick shot. And ends in front of the net. He picks up another one. Christian Hilbrick eating all he wants right now as he makes it a 3-1 game in the same shift. 2 goals in just about 45 seconds.
And now you have the top dogs, and they got to be asking, who are these guys?
Who are that now? Because we know the top dogs are supposed to win.
Yes.
Okay, so we got that going.
I mean,
now they're down 3-1. Let's see who turns it up a little bit.
Talk about this roster. You've got John Mitchell. You've got Jan Hayda. Jack Devine, a freshman at DU. Carter Mazur, freshman at DU. Owen Ozar, freshman at DU. Let's see, who else do you have? You got Aiden Thompson in the mix. You got David Clarkson in the mix. It's a stacked team.
Yes,
it's a stacked
it is.
team. Top of the point right now, Jan Hayda. And the intensity has now increased for the Dogs as they are going to put a little pressure on here.
They might shorten the bench here in the first period.
Well, because we got to figure out who figure out the tiebreaker. Because they won what, 7-2 last night?
Yes.
So they got a little cushion as far as goals for and against, but it's going to be interesting to see.
We're going to have to figure out some of the rules on tiebreakers and overtimes, and we'll see if we can't get that for you here shortly. 4:45 to go, and FirstBank picks up a loose puck just at the top of the Dawg zone, and they work it the other direction. Back on the stick of Rizzo, number 18, throws it towards the net, but Austin Shaw able to trickle it away. Long reach pass. This one will head into the bench, and a little shot across the boards as everybody ducking there on the FirstBank as that one came right for the heads.
That was a little friendly fire there off of the stick of Gavin Stoik.
I do the games between the benches, and the scariest moment I ever had was Shea Weber.
Oh, God.
He's with Nashville at the time, comes behind the net, and nobody shoots the puck harder than 6'4", 230-pound Shea Weber. And he is going to dump the puck out of the zone on an icing on a penalty kill. And I can see that he's not looking where he should be looking. Yeah. He is looking right at me. And he winds up, and I'm going, mother of pearl, I am going to die right here, right now. And he just unleashes. And I got down just in time. It hit this plexiglass beside me. I've never been so scared. All I heard was just like bomb go off against the glass. And I said, you know what? If I hadn't been paying attention, we'd be having a Memorial game now. It was just unbelievable.
We got the real quick, and by the way, we need you to stick around. You're a national treasure, for God's sakes, Mr. McNabb. All right, so the tiebreaking procedure, in the event there's a tie in the standings at the end of preliminary play, the tiebreaker results shall be determined by subsequent criteria in the following order. 1, the winner in head-to-head games played. 2, fewest goals against. 3, goal differential from games played. 4, most goals scored. 5, fewest penalty minutes. And then it goes on and on a little bit more. Just to let you know, number 7 is a coin toss, before we get to 8. So that's the tie-breaking procedures right now. 3-1 game, 2:52 to go. Top Dogs down in this one by 2. Now another opportunity in front for FirstBank, and just a missed opportunity for Matt Cope, cruising in at the side of the net, but a beautiful passing play there. And I believe Casey Sherwood did get a piece of that one as he came post to post. Johnny Mitchell misses the pass through neutral ice. It'll trickle down inside FirstBank territory. Down and out around to play it is Austin Shaw. Now the puck on the far right side on the stick of number 16, Smith. Smith down back behind the net. Leaves it on a tee for Cope. Tries to put it out in front. Back in front. Quick shot off the stick of number 20, Matthew Capero, and a big save as the...
And Matthew Copperrood, number 20 out there, he had a terrific year this past year at ASU, another new D1 program. And he's a local product, and he just absolutely emerged, and he became one of their leading stars over there.
How about Copperroad's season, right? In a program that's in its infancy, and they'll poke one in here at the side of the net, but the Top Dogs not loving that. Casey Sherwood said he had it covered.
We got a little controversy here. They got to come up to us.
And we're going to see if Bobby Brink picks up his second goal of the game.
Look at this. We got a running time game going here. We're down 4-1. Marty's going to have a heart attack here. His boys are getting manhandled. Oh, my.
FirstBank just coming out of the woodwork right now. Now, there are some impressive players on this team, some DU guys playing overseas as well. Got some college guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good hockey team.
Really good game last night.
Absolutely. You look at it, and of course, we have Noah Prokop out there.
Yeah.
Noah, I think, had a hat trick yesterday.
Evan Stoic of the NTDP. There's some good players out here. The Top Dogs have their hands full right now, and down 3 with 55 to go here in period number 1 are going to have to do some work on the stick of Jack Devine right now, far right side. Devine wheels it around, drop pass to the top for Krenzen. Krenzen gets it around, comes back to the top for Hayda. He makes it all the way through on a shot from the point. Austin Shaw turns it away. Now it's off into the corner, and a high play off the glass is gloved down by Hayda. He'll hold it on and dump it back deep inside. And every time a loose puck comes up, FirstBank is on top of it. Talking about Noah Prokop, number 18, back behind the net. He recovered the latest one. Now it's on the stick of Jackson Ross. He'll headman it up into the neutral territory, and a flick pass intended for the stick of Brink is turned over, and the Dogs come the other way. Jack Devine just inside the zone. Tries to leave it on a tee and does for Krenzen. He works down below the goal line inside FirstBank territory. Back up to the top. Ricardo Mazur throws it towards the net. Sticked away by FirstBank, and period number 1 will come to a conclusion. And it's a 4-1 game, boys, and this is not what we would have expected.
This is a stunner. This is fantastic.
The smile on your face says it all right now.
This is great because, this is when things are going smooth and easy as they were last night. The competitive juices really don't kick in.
Sure.
But now all of a sudden, you're down 4-1, and you start to talk a little differently on the bench.
Sure.
And, you start to pick up the pace a little bit. Let's start getting smarter. And these guys over here in Orange this is the club I was talking about last night. Do they play together? They don't play together.
They don't play together. I mean, you have a number of DU freshmen, but I mean, look at that list. It's filled with ex-pros.
Yeah, but you're looking at a group that's, they have looked solid defensively in situations where there's one guy back, 2 guys, 3 guys back. They haven't been overwhelmed. There's not these odd man breaks. There's no, quick rushes down the ice where there's 3 of the Dogs, leading the way. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Well, if you're FirstBank too, there's not that much pressure on you at the moment. You're the underdog against the Dogs, and you got guys on here like Adam Shaner, very good hockey player. He coaches the U14 Thunderbirds. There's just it's a nice cobbled together roster of some seriously talented hockey players here. All right, back underway, period number 2. Glad to have you along here on Shaw Hockey Productions. Nick Gismondi, Peter McNabb, Manny Furtado. A trio of broadcasters on this one for you, and it's a pleasure to be here in good company. Back to the point now. The Dogs looking to get something going offensively. They have had nothing up until this point. Carter Mazur tries to get something going, but FirstBank is on it. Prokop back inside Dogs territory. They'll trickle it down low. Now back up to the top, all the way to Matt Cope. This one thrown to the front of the net, trickled to the side and pushed away. Now looks Rajnemi, Syracuse product. Moves it ahead, and now another opportunity for Mazur. He gets tripped up, and a penalty coming up. This one is going to be a tripping, I believe, and it will put the Dogs on their first power play of the game.
Marty's down there talking to the referees.
Definitely slipped a 20 or 2.
Exactly, We need a couple power plays.
Hey, boys,
here.
we need a little help here. Need a little help here. So we'll get the first look at the power play for the Dogs, and if you're FirstBank, you definitely want to stay out of the box. Will be a tripping call.
How about that stat last night? First time a Game 7 in the semifinals has ever been 1-0 decided by a shorthanded goal.
Incredible.
Just
incredible hockey. This whole playoffs has just been absolutely amazing. I think the Montreal Canadiens look real good.
Is that not a ridiculous story?
Whew. You know who they remind me of? The 2012 Los Angeles Kings.
Maybe a little bit. I think it's just. But I think at least the Kings were in the playoffs. These guys shouldn't have been in the playoffs. If only the divisional setup got them. They were 18th in the league.
Right. Just crazy.
They gassed their coach. Thank you, sir.
12:50 to go here. 4-1
You got
hockey
another
game.
big fan.
Is that?
Yep.
I'm also a big fan, Peter.
Right.
Just in case, I'm also a massive Peter McNabb fan. Puck comes back out to the top. Dawgs with it now, trying to get something going offensively, but I love the penalty kill here by FirstBank as well. All right, so the Dawgs working on something here. Shea Bouillon works it into the inside. Quick pass over to Aiden Thompson. Talented young player, DU freshman, Colorado Thunderbird product. Back out now to the point. Under a minute to go on the power play. Krenzen works in low, looking for a chance. Back up to the point now. Krenzen puts it on the stick of Bouillon. Bouillon works to center, holds. Back topside now for Krenzen. Back to Bouillon. Bouillon down low over to Thompson. Thompson looking to put it in front of the net. Quick shot by David Clarkson. And a good save by Austin Shaw. Loose puck recovered. Now it's back up to Owen Ozar. To the point for Bouillon. Bouillon will hold, work low, top of the circle, down low for Clarkson. Clarkson, far left side, tries to chip it up. Miscue on it, recovers the puck, and the tenacity of the former NHLer will keep the puck in play. Backside, quick shot! What a save over there by Shaw on the stick of Bouillon, who is inside, and a big save with 5 seconds to go here on the power play.
Peter, we were talking about him last night. That's your
my
San
boy.
Diego boy.
We were talking about it before the game. I said, we're watching the game, and I see this big number 6, and he's big.
Oh, he's a big boy.
And, there was just something about him, and I go, look at this kid. He's but an interesting name. I didn't know how to say it. I got some help. Bouillon, and was watching him play, and then all of a sudden he said, 6'4", 215-pound freshman. From San Diego.
Yeah.
And I went, you're got to be kidding me, because that's where I'm from. So I'm looking at this kid. So Warren was nice enough, went downstairs, brought him up. And he, I lived in Ocean Beach. He lives downtown now with his parents. And, it's in San Diego. I mean, he went to high school in Minnesota. And now he's coming to Denver University. And you know what the number one thing he was surprised at when I was talking to him about coming to Denver? The weather.
Sure.
He thought it was going to be snowing like Minnesota. I said, not even close. We get so little snow. It's absolutely ridiculous compared to what people think.
Well, I spend my summers here and most of my winters here when I'm not working, so I can attest. I love it in Colorado. It's a beautiful place to live.
When we were talking last night, whenever we go someplace, that's all anybody wants to talk about is Colorado. Oh, how much snow do you got? And sometimes I'll tell them we don't get any. Other times I just go with it.
Yeah.
Oh, we get 8 feet.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's unreal.
I haven't been out of my house in a month.
Oh my! I couldn't even find my house. The kids are walking on the street to school. They're skating to school. It's just it's never ending.
Chance at the point. Quick shot. The Dawgs with an opportunity there off the stick of Barry Goers. And you were talking about Bouillon. Shattuck St. Mary's, but then
yes.
DU via Sioux City Musketeers in the USHL. So he has seen some time and certainly one of the bright futures. Breakaway now here for the Dawgs, and a beautiful passing play and an unbelievable save. I just can't believe Austin Shaw came up with a highlight reel save on 2 very good hockey players.
Did he save this?
Oh. Yes.
He did? What? This is what we were talking about at the start when we said the goaltending had been absolutely magnificent. We saw it last game, and we're seeing it again this game.
Massimo Rizzo set that up absolutely perfectly, elected to move it instead of shoot it, and Shaw with the save of the tournament. NHL highlight reel-esque. Incredible save. Princeton, Ferris State player Austin Shaw, just incredible. Goodness gracious. Well, that'll demoralize you a little bit if you're the Dawgs. A grade A opportunity like that, you can't convert. A lot of hockey left to be played, though, and a lot of talent on that roster. Right now, FirstBank tries for a pass and trickles one in. Steered away by Casey Sherwood. Now another chance down low and a pass back just across to the stick of Kevin Ulansky. Misses, but it would have been a tap-in backdoor napper.
They're getting cocky. They're throwing it around. They're just firing that puck around.
Back the other direction comes Carter Mazur. As they trickle it in, Dawgs just putting anything they can on the net at this point.
Where's Marty now when he wants to be cackling?
He's going to start working the clock. He's going to start working the clock, I think.
Looking for stoppages of play wherever he can, and some contact in the crease as Austin Shaw run through by the Denver University freshman Carter Mazur. 6 foot, 168-pounder coming in hot there across the crease. No harm, no foul, but Carter Mazur played Tri-City. Detroit guy, played for Little Caesars, one of my rivals when I was growing up playing hockey for CompuWare.
Now, is the hockey as good as it seems to be in the Michigan area?
Indeed. Yeah, I think so many top prospects are coming out of those programs like CompuWare that has done such a great job. Honey Baked, Caesars, Bell Tire. It's been an impressive program for quite some time. I think between them and Chicago, you really see a lot of talent come out of there.
But, you're talking Michigan, you're talking Illinois.
Yep.
Now you're talking about scouting all of this Colorado.
Absolutely.
California gets scouted.
Oh, yes. Rakshani came from California. So many good guys. Bobby Ryan's a California product.
Because like I said, my brother used to be in charge of scouting for Anaheim. And, you had a few states you would visit.
FirstBank coming back in, pass in front, and just another near miss on the stick of number 18, Noah Prokop. But goodness gracious, FirstBank with all the pressure right now still, boys.
And we saw Copperroot again slide that over. What a playmaker he is. You talk about Michigan hockey, and all of a sudden you mention all the storied programs that we all remember, right? And now you've got Oakland. The Oakland Grizzlies have a terrific AAA program. They're always up in it as well. And we've got Norm Jones stepping in. What a trio. Speaking of a trio, let's put Norm Jones on.
Norm Jones joining us here on the broadcast, along with Peter McNabb and Manny Furtado. I'm Nick Gismondi. Under 6 to go. A 4-1 hockey game right now with the Dawgs trailing by 3.
Hello, Norman.
Give it a second here for Norm to get the headsets on and welcome him into the booth. And this keeps getting better for me. I've got Peter McNabb and Norm Jones on my side now, and it's just it's an honor to be here. Peter, I've often said that I'm going to write a book one day, and the title's going to be How the Hell Did I Get Here? And now this story can get thrown into the mix as well. Norm, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, I think for anybody that doesn't know, Norm and I, we came into this together at the beginning.
Yeah, we did. 1995, when the team arrived.
Yep.
And
Norm had been obviously doing a lot of work in and around. Norm has got some great stories because he was also working with the old Colorado Rockies.
Right, that was my first NHL.
Back when they were awful.
Incredible. They were not a good team.
But some great personalities.
Great personalities. The closest thing I ever got to a playoff game when I was doing the Rockies was when the Islanders were trying to win their 15th consecutive game, which then was an NHL record, 15 straight wins. And sure enough, the Rockies show up in Uniondale and are ready to try to end that streak. And Chico Resch was in goal for the Rockies, who had been traded from the Islanders. And the game ends 3-2. Chico lets in a late goal in that game in the third period, and the Islanders win 15 straight. I think it was John Tonelli who scored the goal. And the Islanders win 15 straight, and that's the closest I got to a playoff with the Rockies. I wasn't with the Rockies when they started. Of course, they got to the playoffs one year, lost to Philadelphia in 3 games as a best of 3. I wasn't with them then. I was with them in the last 3 years. But that's the closest thing I had to a playoff game with the old Rockies.
Until. And that, because obviously Norm was doing the radio and we weren't doing the TV. So
right.
Norm was actually, anybody that wanted to hear the real stuff in the playoffs, they went with Norman and Mike back then.
Well, that was a great time for sure. Very memorable, very appreciative. I had the opportunity, but it was also a lot of fun. What a team.
We were talking earlier about, and you knew him well too, Pierre Lacroix.
Absolutely.
And how much of his footprint or handprint or whatever is on this hockey in these situations.
Quick shot here from Matt Cope. And we'll get back to that story in just a moment, as it is still 4-1, and the Dogs finding themselves in a hole that continues to increase as the clock becomes a little bit of an enemy as well on the scoreboard. But looking for an opportunity, John Mitchell put him on the board just 13 seconds in. He's looking around the crease and has a chance that just goes through his skates. And FirstBank will bring it back into neutral territory again, as the Dogs struggling to find something here. Bouillon with it on his stick now, down around the left-hand side, and a shot, this one just wide by Garrett Devine, will come back out to the point. Puck on the stick of Massimo Rizzo again, who's been dominant, and Austin Shaw has to come up huge once again with a save, as this will go the length of the ice for icing. And, Norm, we were all at Pierre Lacroix's memorial a few weeks ago, and the tragic circumstances around that, but as Nabber was saying, just incredible what he's done for the game of hockey here, and the growth of the sport, and the products that are coming out of here. Brandon Carlos, Troy Terry's, etc. It's incredible.
It absolutely is incredible. I grew up in Colorado, and I started playing hockey in the 3rd grade. Colorado Springs was the only place that had any kind of hockey in the state then, and they had a youth program called the Young America League. So they had a few teams in a league as you grew older. I started playing in the 3rd grade. The only issue was you never had enough ice time to develop skill. You'd practice once a week. You'd play once or twice a week. And so you never had a chance to develop skill. And to get back to your point, not until the Avs arrived with Pierre Lacroix, we've seen the growth of hockey in this state. The difference between when I played as a youngster and now, and I had 2 grandsons that played in the state, is vastly different, and it's all thanks to Pierre Lacroix.
An incredible man who made everybody, no matter who you were, the CEO, the janitor, the president, a player, feel like you were the most important person in the room. And we all lost a very good friend back in December, and God bless him and all of his family, and I'm sure he's up there having a real good time and GMing the heck out of heaven. Dawgs with a chance. Down low, quick shot, Shaw with another save. This one off the stick of Aiden Thompson, as the young man tries to get something going. The DU freshman and Colorado product as well, speaking of. Really beautiful opportunity. FirstBank just playing solid defensively right now.
I mean, they're doing things that you just don't expect a team that hasn't played. They're collapsing. They're dropping down low. They're not cheating offensively. I mean, this is a game you're supposed to cheat. You're supposed to be cherry picking at the other end. They're just a good, smart plays time after time, and every time they don't, the goalie makes a big save.
Well, the goalie's coming up for them big. They're playing solid in the defensive zone, and they're really keeping the Dawgs, who have some potent offensive tools, pushed to the outside.
Yeah, we saw it last night. I mean, the Dawgs were scoring at will last night.
Should be an interesting conversation between the second and third here with 5 seconds on the clock, down 3. Dawgs will not have an opportunity to get one more shot on. They'll choose to just throw it into neutral ice, as time will expire on period 2 in a 4-1 deficit. 3 goals back after John Mitchell opened the scoring to make it a 1-0 game, 13 in. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Pressure's on them now. What do you do?
Well, we were just talking about between the first and second, now the second and third. You know what it's like, Norm. You get in a situation like this, you got those competitive instincts start to kick in a little bit. You're down. You're not supposed to be down. You got to find something early to get yourselves into the game. I mean, we're talking like normal hockey stuff here, which is really fun. And then I think it's one of the reasons why you get so many guys that enjoy playing the game after their careers are done. It's just fun. That they're down and they don't enjoy that, but it's just a fun atmosphere, and it's fun to play at this level. I mean, I don't think when you get to be like Jan Hayda and John Mitchell, you expect to play, in leagues that are this competitive.
Sure.
It's great.
You want to play beer league. You want to keep playing the game, but you want to have that. You want to have that edge. You want to have that competitiveness to it.
And you want to have to chase it a little bit,
Sure.
And you can see that that's what they're doing.
Well, they get the next one. That could change the whole picture of the game. 2-goal leads in hockey are
deadly.
It's a little dangerous, because if somebody gets the next goal, then all of a sudden it's a heck of a game. If you're able to extend it to 3, then you're back in trouble again. So this next one could make it interesting. Pull in them 2.
Speaking of interesting, have you been watching the playoffs?
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
Montreal, unbelievable.
No, I mean, I've got it figured out.
That's what I said too. Jeez.
You know,
Yeah.
I got no clue.
Goodness gracious.
No, I tell you, it just goes to show you, though, Montreal going to the finals, playing so well defensively, and that really is the key, it seems to me,
How about
this
Cole
time of the year.
Caulfield?
We were just talking about the collegiate players and how they're able to step in. And then you see a guy like Cole Caulfield, who is right now as we speak, the most popular hockey player in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
He is. I mean,
Sure.
and that goal he scored the other night may have been one of the greatest individual efforts you're ever. I mean, that was Patrick Kane.
That first touch was unbelievable.
He just chipped it up
That
and over.
first touch was unbelievable.
When you see it, you don't know what he did until you see it in slow motion, and you go, "Oh my goodness gracious!"
Did it intentionally.
That kid did it on purpose.
Chipped it to himself. Absolutely.
And then he
magnificent.
just smoked the guy going wide, top shelf. I mean, it was. They'll show that forever.
Well, Robin Leonard thought he was going 5-hole. That was what the scouting report was in the back and forth in the press. And then Caulfield's like, yeah, no, I think I'll go top shelf on this one. FirstBank with a chance. And somehow Casey Sherwood with a save on that one. A little bit of momentum here now for the Dawgs. Was just stemmed by that play by FirstBank, but they've got to get something going here. It's a running clock, 10 to go, 4-1 game. Glad to have you along. Norm Jones, Peter McNabb, and Nick Gismondi. Two generations of Colorado Avalanche broadcasters, and myself with the Chicago Blackhawks. Glad to be here in Colorado on an incredible day for an incredible cause. John Mitchell complaining about that one as the puck just misses his stick and goes deep inside the zone.
They weren't so grouchy last night.
He didn't want to skate that hard for it. I love Mitch. FirstBank at the zone, holds it inside to avoid offside. Nice play there. Pass up to John Mitchell, neutral ice. He's got Jan Heda on his far left side. Mitchell hangs on, takes a shot, and another ho-hum save by Austin Shaw to keep it at 4-1. Back to the point for Heda. Heda, cross ice for Senya. Senya deep with it, picks up his own puck. Guillaume back to the point to help out. Backdoor, John Mitchell scores! And a little bit of a down low play, and John Mitchell with a massive goal cuts the lead to 2 with 9:37 to play, boys.
That's what you're talking about, Norman. The puck goes in. Johnny Mitchell on the far side just waits long enough for the goalie to drop those at top shelf, and now things start to tighten up a
Could
little
be
bit.
interesting.
Yeah, now
And plenty of time left in the game.
Lots of time on the clock, boys, with 9:34 to go. It is a 4-2 game, and the Dawgs with life. John Mitchell stays out for the double shift and headmans it to his guy, number 10, Jack Devine, a DU freshman. Puck goes deep inside the corner. John Mitchell camping out in what is now going to be his office. A little push and shove in front of the net, stick down, ready to go. Back to Devine, looking for Mitchell. Mitchell will jump out of his office, back behind the net to try to play it. Putting the pressure on, and John Mitchell with the screws, and the defensive play does well. Backhanded by Devine to the front of the net. That pass was intended for Senya. He couldn't get a stick on it. Now picks it up, uses the boards up to Heda. Heda down low for Johnny Mitchell along the far boards to the top of the circle. Heda pinching in, pokes it back deep, keeps the play alive as John Mitchell will now look for a change after a 2-minute and 30-second shift. FirstBank with their first offensive chance comes off the stick of Brink, and this one goes high and wide over the glove of Casey Sherwood off the glass. Back in neutral ice, Matt Cope chips it down low. Dawgs recover. Paces change, gentlemen. The Dawgs have life.
Yeah,
They really
goal
do.
brought him up. But again, dropping back defensively, not cheating out of the zone.
This one goes high and up off the glass. Back behind Austin Shaw. FirstBank with a chance outside of their own end. No odd man rush here. 3v3. They'll remain offside. Could have been a little questionable. Puck dropped at the blue line, and now it's a 2-on-1 the other direction. Big chance here for Garrett Devine in front. Shot comes off the stick of Carter Mazur, and Austin Shaw up to task, steers it into the corner, and breaks up a good scoring chance for the Dawgs. FirstBank the other direction, trying to chip it in front of the net. This one defensively knocked away, and FirstBank outnumbered as they were on a change. Miscue on a pass, keeps the puck inside neutral territory. Aaron McKenzie with it for the Dawgs on the far right side. He'll come cut across to the middle, chips it over to Max Bull, can't do much with it. Now on the stick of Rizzo. Rizzo leaves it down low for Missouri, throws it to the front of the net, nothing there. Top of the point for Goers. He'll hold, look for an option, finds it in McKenzie. Chance to the front, Greenout scores! And David Clarkson picks up a juicy rebound after the initial shot from Carter Missouri, lands on his stick, and just like that, from back 3 to down 1 with 7 to go.
And it just,
Now we got a game.
Yeah, now couldn't you just see it coming?
Well, you can feel it stemming.
It's amazing momentum inside of a hockey game. It's, you can't describe it, what momentum is, but you can feel it.
You can see it
and
in
you
hockey.
can see it. And you try to say to yourself, well, this is what momentum is. There's no definition for it. It's just the way that the game is going, and you can just see the next goal is going to those guys.
Oh yeah, certainly an opportunity now, and will FirstBank respond? Good opportunities for them, but you get some timely saves from Casey Sherwood and some big goals, and all of a sudden things change. And now the Dogs with another opportunity offensively. Such a pleasure to have you along for this one. Norm Jones, Peter McNabb, and Nick Gismondi on the call with you here at Edge Arena in Colorado. A couple generations of Avalanche broadcasters and Rockies broadcasters, and myself with Chicago and NHL Network. It's fun to be on the air with you guys.
Well, thank you very
I tell you
much.
what, as a guy that's just kind of started my career in the league, to be alongside the two of you, it's an honest to God pleasure.
Well, that's nice of you to say.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was broadcasting Rockies games when this guy standing next to you, Peter McNabb, was playing for the Boston Bruins.
That's what I was saying today. I'm like, how is this happening?
I mean, what happened all the years?
I was going to say, I'm just not that old. Yes, I am, Pete.
You look good, boys. You look good. All right, FirstBank with a chance to come the other direction with it now. Well, they want to try to get something here to take away from this momentum that we've seen the Dogs build. This one will come up and out of play with 5:55 to go, and the difference is 1. It's a 4-3 game on a late push here. David Clarkson and John Mitchell getting it done.
See 5:55? You're talking about Pierre Lacroix?
Yes.
That was his favorite number. 5 was his favorite number.
Yeah.
5:50. He knew if the clock stopped at 5:55, no matter what, his team was going to win.
Who do you think Pierre's rooting for today?
Exactly. Pierre knows.
What an incredible man.
I thought. Look at that. The clock hasn't started yet. Marty is on the clock. He's working the clock.
I guess John Mitchell
great.
with a chance in front tries to stop it. I guess the answer is Pierre Lacroix is a top Dogs fan.
I was going to say he put his mighty hand down on the.
You know that guy is GMing the heck out of heaven right now. God's got his hands full. This went off to the side now to the stick of Senya in neutral ice, but it's turned over and FirstBank the other direction. This will get dumped deep by Noah Prokop. Trickled back around. Dogs recover. They'll come out of their zone. John Mitchell seeing the most ice time of anybody today. Back on the ice. Puts it on the stick of Jack Devine, the NTDP product. 70 points for him. DU freshman. What a talented kid. 5'11", 180 pounds. That NTDP program puts out so much talent. My old friend Seth Appert, now the coach of the Rochester Americans, did a great job building that program. A lot of these guys having played for him. Chance in front, FirstBank, and not quite a save by Casey Sherwood there, but a miscue off of the stick of Jackson Ross. Edge zone, inside, drop pass, back to the point. This one up for Devine. Devine works low, left side, circles back around Austin Shaw, puck on a stick. Trying to do something with it. Come up along the boards and chipped out of play. Now a break for FirstBank, the other direction. That is break, fires a shot, Sherwood the save, puck to the corner. FirstBank recovers, throwing it across the middle, but it's intercepted here nicely by Aaron McKenzie. Former DU player, he'll trickle this one down inside FirstBank territory. Oh, boys, it's a little bit of a momentum shift again. It went from being dominated by the top Dogs to FirstBank getting some chances now. Dogs inside, quick shot up and out of play for a whistle with 3:55 to go in the third period. It is 4-3, and the lead currently still held by the underdog, FirstBank.
You know, and again, we get back to it watching, you're just watching these two teams come together for these things. Competition is just fun. this doesn't mean anything, but it's just fun. You're up by one, you're down by one, you're playing. There's a little intensity. You're having fun on the bench. It's such a fascinating game. It really is.
You have so much fun playing this game too. I was talking about my early years, but in high school I played football, hockey, baseball, and by far and away I enjoyed hockey more than I did the other two. It just was so much fun to play this game.
That's the family aspect of it for me. You're involved with hockey your whole life. You're part of a fraternity. You're part of a family.
Yeah.
You know that
it's a great family.
You know that you can look at anybody and be like, oh, okay, that guy's a hockey guy. He's good people. Like, you're okay in that circle.
I was lucky enough that, like Norm, when I was in high school, played a lot of sports.
Yep.
But I chose hockey, and people say, why did you want to play? The thing that I truly loved more than anything was the imagination.
Sure.
When you had the puck, you could do anything. No, you couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything.
That's right. I know I couldn't,
but it was just the idea that,
Massimo Rizzo with a beautiful pass out in front from the corner. And just like that, we have got ourselves a tie hockey game as it finds the stick of Carter Mazur, and it is suddenly 4-4 after being down 3 coming into this final frame. 3:16 to go, boys.
And it was 4-1 for a long time. Well, and then John Mitchell scores to make it 4-2, and you just feel the slide coming. And now all of a sudden you got to find a way to get yourself going, offensively.
I know Marty's happy. He was complaining to me as I walked in with him about how far behind his top team was.
Well, he wasn't around, and now all of a sudden we've got him back into the mix here. Puck is down deep inside, under 3 to play, tied at 4. Puck right now on the stick as the Dogs try to come out of their own zone. Hey, Marty.
So there's a lot going on here. If this game would have stayed the same way, we would have had a 4-way tie, and the Dogs would have been out based on goals against.
Goodness.
Wow.
So we're that last goal was ginormous. So.
I said you'd
so
be
as
happy.
the general manager of the Dogs, I'm kind of sweating bullets here, guys.
What happens if the Dogs lose?
They're probably out.
Peter McNabb says if the Dogs lose, they're probably out. Now remember, the Dogs have made it to the finals the last few years, but have yet to come away with a championship in their signature tournament. So pressure on right now, but a tie hockey game. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out with 2:26 to go. Glad to have you all along for this one. Peter McNabb got the microphone back, and FirstBank now just in front with trying to put something on net. Back the other direction, the Dogs now working inside FirstBank territory. All the way around, Devine will go with it. Now he's back deep inside the corner. Looking for any sort of help, and he'll get it. This one on the stick of number 15, Aiden Thompson. Throws it hastily to the middle, and it's a turnover, so back the other direction comes FirstBank. Far side, he's run off into the boards by Booyam, and no opportunity. The Dogs will recover on the far side, and back the other direction they come on the stick of Ozar. Ozar works to the center, looking for a call, won't get it. Ozar holds onto it, puck on a string on a stick. Now it's over to number 3, Krenzen. Krenzen down low. He's run into by 2 opposing FirstBank players, and the puck will pop loose. Hustling to pick it up is Jack Devine. Devine now running into a little trouble with his own teammate, as that one will be sticked away by Johnny Mitchell, hungry for his 3rd goal of this game. Back the other direction comes FirstBank inside top dog zone. Shot from just atop the hash marks from Noah Prokop, and a timely save by Casey Sherwood.
You just love the tension. Walking in the middle, everybody gave him that little slot area. And nice save by the goalie.
1:18 to go, tied at 4, 3rd period. Big game here, a lot on the line for the top dogs. Norm Jones, Peter McNabb, Nick Gismondi on the call with you here. Pleasure, folks. Now it's Johnny Mitchell. Off the draw, he'll take the win, and he run in along the end boards. But the puck comes loose in a dangerous spot, and FirstBank hacking around in front of the net. Won't be able to get a stick on a bouncing puck, and the Dogs just trying to clear and get a little bit of breathing room here. Winged around the boards to the stick of Matt Cope, pinching in defensively. Throws it to the front to Noah Prokop. It just hops his stick and comes back up top to the point. Now down low, quick shot again. Sherwood having to make a save on Cope, who's pinched down low. This one will hit the stick and negate icing, as it was number 24, Brink, who picked up the deflection.
Why have they pulled the goalie? Do they have to score to
FirstBank must need a win here. The
Yes.
net is empty. Top Dogs also need a win. There is an empty net right now. 6 on 5. Johnny Mitchell with a chance to end it. Fires the loose puck in an incredible defensive play by Matt Cope. Puck comes to the front. Quick slap shot. This one trickles away. 20 seconds left in a tie hockey game. We call NHL games and I'm on the edge of my seat right now. In an incredible save by Cope on John Mitchell, who had the open net. 9 seconds. FirstBank in shot. This one just goes wide on the stick of Brink. Puck to the top. 2 seconds remain. One more opportunity. Fires it. Tapped in front, and Sherwood gets a piece of it as time expires in what might be one of the most exciting games I've announced all year.
You talk about excitement. How do you beat this? This was as exciting as anything I've seen.
My God.
But you got to explain to me something. They are going to have overtime, right?
Well, I would imagine so.
Well,
I think they're trying to figure that out at the moment.
But why would you pull your goalie
don't know.
if you've got overtime
That's
where
a
you
good
can
question.
win it? I mean, somebody on the bench there just had the idea that you had to score in regulation?
You will find me at a loss for words very few times, but
Well,
This is great.
that was insane.
pulling goaltenders.
Because I looked around, I go, where did he go? Where?
You got to announce a very exciting team this season in the Colorado Avalanche. Things were all right in Chicago, but have you seen a game that entertaining in quite some time down the stretch?
No, that was. Well, I must admit, yeah, I did.
Yeah, you've seen a couple good ones.
The Avalanche can do it. There's no question about that. But the ending isn't what they wanted, but they can be exciting. But that was just, I mean, it was 4-1. They're coming back, and all of a sudden the goalie's just gone.
I didn't even notice it. You caught that.
Well,
I didn't see it.
Well, I saw this at 6. Are they going to? Is it a shootout? Is that?
Apparently, we're going to have a shootout instead of overtime. Apologies for us not being completely savvy on the rules in terms of tiebreakers. Clearly an important game for both of these teams, and I'm not sure either team quite knows.
The referee, he sort of shrugged his shoulders, so I'm not sure he knows.
I'm not sure the referee knows.
Now they're waving. They're waving something off over there from the penalty box area. Let's see what happens here.
All right.
They may be waving it off. That may be the end of the game right there.
Okay, so they're saying it's a tie, so there is no overtime.
Right.
Or a shootout for that matter. So this one ends in a
So all that
4-4
stuff you were
sister
talking
kissing.
about before
Doesn't mean anything
doesn't
now.
mean anything. It's just over and done.
Well, you know, most of this job is coming up with things on the fly,
Oh.
and that was an exercise in that. Manny's got a headset on. Any insight on what the rules are at the moment here, sir?
You know what? There is no overtime, like we said.
Okay.
Right.
And this was the first tie that we've had,
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
So it's nice to see it. Coming up next, though, we have Denver Concrete, who has won the last 3 years in a row. And so Denver Concrete always comes in with an unheralded team. The one name that you recognize on there is Nolan Foote,
Oh,
number
yeah.
22.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're going to get a chance to see Nolan Foote, who
But these are the sandbaggers right here.
these are the sandbaggers.
These are the sandbaggers. They say we got no chance. The coach was saying we had 6 or 8 guys maybe that'll show up. He had to carve guys off the lineup. He's got some guys CD in the stands. Coach's decision's not playing.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's right. And the MVP from last year, Tyler Polson, graduated from Alabama Huntsville. So there you go.
How about that?
I love it. Well, listen,
How about that?
we were having a lot of fun here at the Edge Ice Arena. Norm, are you going to be able to stick around for another game?
I'll just stand here and chit-chat.
Well,
Attaboy.
we've got Norm, we've got Peter McNabb, we've got Manny Furtado, and myself, Nick Gismondi, coming up for you one more time here in our next game. We're going to go take a quick breath. I'm going to go check my pulse, and we'll be
Yes.
back with what is ideally going to be another exciting game. Before we do say goodbye for this one, any final thoughts on what you saw between these two teams? Peter, I'll start with you.
Well, it's just the idea that we're not sure exactly who's going to play who.
Right.
But I would love to see these two teams play again in the semifinals or the finals, because there was all kinds of different drama inside of it. You know, that one team's up and the other team's coming back. You're expecting one team to win, they didn't, and then they pulled the goalie out. Magically, he disappeared.
I didn't
So
even see him on the bench.
Yeah,
I
well,
looked
he
on the
was-
bench.
he
I didn't
was-
even see him on the bench. It's like he left the ice completely.
It was just. I mean, but it was great. But you know, from
You absolutely you talked about momentum, and you can really see it shift in hockey.
But we saw the games last night, Norm.
Yeah.
And they had one level. Today it's been at another level, and they've got the semifinals coming up and the finals, so they're just going to be ramped up that much more.
Incredible. Norm, any final thoughts there?
No, that just that thought about momentum shifts and how that can really carry you as a team. And no question there was a strong momentum shift in the important parts of the third period that really changed the whole complexion of the game.
Any thoughts?
We got to check our rosters to see if we have any healthy scratches for the next game coming up.
I'll tell you, it was so funny talking to Marty last night saying, well, he was saying it's 6 or 8, and then he gave me the roster list, and it's like crammed right in. There's as many names as there you could get. Got guys crawling in the back door. Adam, we'll put Footer on our team. Slide him in there.
No trade deadline here at the Dog Bowl. We're going to take a quick moment to catch our breath and hydrate. Zam's on the ice. We got another game coming up here in a moment. Don't miss it. Tune back in. Eddie Furtado, Norm Jones, Peter McNabb, and myself, Nick Gismondi. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back with you.
Thank you for watching. I'm Todd Gerke, the official mortgage company sponsor of Dawg Nation in partnership with Shaw Hockey Productions. Stay tuned for more great coverage of the Dog Bowl. We'll see you at the next face-off. Hi, my name is Todd Gerke. You've probably seen me around the rink, and if you've participated in Dawg Nation events, probably have one of my Lone Rangers koozies in either your golf or hockey bag. I'm a board member with Dawg Nation and have been part of the organization for several years. I also have a successful mortgage company, and I'm proud to be the streaming sponsor for this year's Dawg Bowl. We help people gain complete control of their lives and become financially free by showing them ways their money can work for them so they can stop working so hard for their money. Our mortgage business is for people that understand that how you structure a mortgage has a significant impact on wealth accumulation. We focus on people who want to understand their options and make educated decisions. And our promise is that by engaging with us, you will gain a lifelong resource to help you accumulate wealth. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you click subscribe below and enjoy the game.
are dressed in their whites with green, and Denver Concrete in their baby blue.
Everybody, glad to have you back on this one. Nick Gismondi alongside Manny Furtado. We'll also have Norm Jones and Peter McNabb joining us in just a few moments. Our third game of the day here on Shaw Hockey TV Productions. Glad to have you along. A couple exciting ones, including that last one. Manny, this has been some great hockey to start the day.
It's fantastic hockey, and you see the amalgamation of these teams being put together. And this Denver Concrete team always surprises everybody. They always come in as the underdog, and they've won the last 3. So,
hey, 3-time defending champions coming in hot right now, and they've looked good so far this entire tournament. The Dawgs with a comeback tie in that last game. It's going to be another exciting one to finish off the morning games right now as we are underway in period number 1. Denver Concrete in those light blue jerseys skating to start with from your right to left. And the Vigilantes in that green and white skating from left to right. Glad to have you along for this one. Peter McNabb and Norm Jones joining Manny and I in just a few moments, but right now it's the Vigilantes down low. Quick shot, this one will come back the other way, and now Denver Concrete on the reverse rush.
And we get a chance to see Selaney there. Selaney was one of the top players this past year. Selaney, number 23. And then we've got Brian Yoon. Brian Yoon is out there as well. Brian Yoon, a star defenseman for the CC Tigers.
Denver Concrete working it down deep inside of Vigilantes territory. They'll headman it the other direction, and a little bit of back and forth catch with the puck as Denver Concrete now with an opportunity. That would be number 25, AJ Vanderbeck, with a chance. He'll hold on to it and go topside to the point. Quick shot in, and a big early save there by Colin Bessie. Loose puck still in the crease, and it will squirt out, but Denver Concrete able to recover. Colin Bessie gets back up to his feet, and the other direction come the Vigilantes. Over on the stick of Cole Nickel. Nickel will fire it just wide of the net. Denver Concrete will try to recover, but the Vigilantes able to keep it into the zone, and a backhand attempt right there by number 37, Jimmy Morgan. And an early save by Ryan Ouellette.
We're going to keep an eye on a couple of folks here this evening for this morning. Denver Concrete, Tyler Polson, who was the MVP of last year's tournament, had a hat trick and really led this Denver Concrete team to the title.
Played for Alabama, playing in the East Coast Hockey League as well now, and has been stunning this tournament again this year to start things off. Under 12 to go. Quick shot in from the point from Jesse Shelton. Face-off one, shot from the point, and this one up and out of play on the stick of Cole Nickel with 11:35 to go. Running clock. Peter McNabb joins us back in the broadcast booth now.
Okay, I'll ask the obvious question.
All righty.
Who has to win what here, and what are we looking at?
Well, that is the obvious question, and I think Manny may have the
Denver
info.
Concrete got a win last night, so if Concrete wins this, they secure themselves a position in the semifinal matchup.
Okay.
And Vigilantes have a loss, so they need to win, and they need some goals here as well.
Do they need some goals, or do they need to hold the other team down and win?
You know, we really don't know, Peter.
We don't know, because I read something about,
there's a coin flip somewhere in this.
Number 7 tiebreaker.
Let's get to that right away. Let's just get the coin flip involved.
If they're tied after 3 periods, and a quick goal by the Vigilantes from the far side to make it a 1-0 hockey game, and suddenly the underdog with an opportunity and a beauty of a first shot coming off of the stick of number 27, Bobby Murphy, to make it a 1-0 game. I did read that if they are tied after 3 periods of play and the coin flip, there are consecutive 3-legged sack races on the second Sunday in July to determine the winner.
We wait for that to happen.
Yeah, we'll broadcast that live here as well on Hockey Shaw Productions.
You got to guess the temperature inside of the arena at 9 o'clock this morning. It's already been determined. The envelope is out. The coaches have already picked their temperature. So we'll see what's going on.
Oh, God, I love it. Denver Concrete down 1-0, 10 to go. Norm Jones joins us on the broadcast as well. Go ahead, Peter.
Cast of thousands. Do I remember this uniform from last night?
Peter, I don't know how much you remember from last night.
I'm not bad.
You know what? Yes, these are the same uniforms.
Same uniforms? Who did they play?
Well, I don't think they had the puck that often, so I don't
Is
think
that
you
what it
called them.
was?
I think we just called a one-sided game.
Where was I last night?
Yeah,
Put
exactly.
an invite, boys. Oh, goodness. Chance in front here for the Vigilantes, and the puck will trickle over the net, and they work it back the other direction now. It's Bo Hansen on the right-hand side, pumps the brakes at the top of the circle and dishes it back to the top, and a nice little drag by Poulsen, and he'll score! Goodness gracious.
It is fascinating how, we don't know these guys, that many of them, but you're drawn to certain guys. This Poulsen scored a goal right off the hop last night. It was absolutely wonderful. They scored another goal that didn't count, but he was just great hands. And then again, you can't take your eyes off this guy.
We were talking about him just before you came on and joined us, Naber, but he's the MVP from last year. Played at Alabama. In the coast right now. It's a great toe drag at the top. A little ho-hum goal to tie things up at 1. And now Concrete with the momentum. Nolan Foote with it on the far side. Looks for a chance. Dishes it in front. Quick shot again, and another opportunity for Jack Dormans. Upended in the corner there. No harm, no foul as the Vigilantes.
No harm, no foul yet.
Will work the other way. Not sure you want to be upending Nolan Foote. Look to be offside there. They won't whistle that down. So Denver Concrete with a break, and this one just escaped the stick of number 10, Tyler Poulsen, who could have been on a quick breakaway all by himself. 8 to go, tied at 1. Norm?
Alabama Huntsville is an interesting story. Division I program that never could find a league to play in. They love their hockey there. They've gone through fundraising opportunities at Huntsville to keep the team going. They play an independent schedule. You kind of would like to see a school like Huntsville find a place to go, but there's no Division I league that wants to take Huntsville in, primarily because of geographical location. It's too bad because they've had a lot of kids play there at the Division I level.
It's always been a well-respected school.
Oh yeah, and amazing how much fundraising they've done locally that the community's kept that program going.
Well, another interesting program, we were talking about it earlier, number 24 on Concrete is Austin Snedden. He plays for ASU. That's another program that was sort of in the doldrums that came up.
And somebody needs to pick ASU up. They're building a brand new facility at ASU.
No one's got them yet?
And no, they're not in a league yet. And really, they should have that opportunity. And I'm amazed that the MCHC, the DU's in that league, they don't really look at Arizona State, and it's been a very competitive team, top-ranked team.
Oh, and a trickler of a goal just finds its way past Denver Concrete. A weird bounce right there, and that's going to get credited to number 2, Joel Gillette. That was a weird one. We'll take a look at the replay here.
It was tipped. It was just tipped up high, and the goalie was moving. Yeah, just moving to the right, and it just slithered by.
And so just like that, it's a 2-1 hockey game. Denver Concrete find themselves in a hole on a tricky goal here as you get one more look at that replay and just caught Ryan Ouellette moving in the wrong direction. And I do think that ASU, once they have that stadium and they have that feel of D1, I would imagine they'll get picked up. Right now, they're playing in a Muni rink with no stands.
Well, a very competitive team. They're a ranked team every year.
Yes, sir.
Well, your buddy Eddie Olchuk's, his son went to Penn State.
Went to Penn State,
right when they were starting. So, it takes a few years to get some traction.
Well, you even remember the rink that Notre Dame was playing out of.
Yeah.
You talk about Tommy Olchuk, who played for Penn State. The other son, the youngest, Nicky Olchuk, played for Colorado College for a time down the road. So. Certainly the Olchuk pedigree is well ingrained in college hockey as well. Denver Concrete, quick shot, nice save here by Colin Vesey. Puck will trickle back off into the corner as the Vigilantes trying to get something more going here offensively. Number 5 will work that one deep inside and back around. Good save here by Ryan Ouellette. Headman pass, and Concrete working the other direction. Nice little Cole Caulfield chip to himself off the boards right there by number 9, Colby Bukes.
How to play the puck. But you talk about new buildings. Of course, Penn State with that new facility that was built by a donor. Colorado College is building a new facility next year. It'll be ready next year. On-campus facility. Much better circumstance for them. I hope it helps them out because they've had their struggles, but they're in a brand new building next year. An on-campus facility, which is going to make a big difference, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to think so, and especially with the alumni that they have. I mean, it's a fascinating school, Colorado College. I didn't get to know that much about it when I was at DU, but I did some of the CC games and got to understand a little bit about their academic excellence. Because, I mean, DU and CC, they're not just good hockey schools. They're really good academically.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
I remember one year George was saying he had a 3.78, my grade point average. They had a 3.78 average team grade point average. I mean, that's
yeah,
that's
they're
ridiculous,
good
to be
schools
honest.
academically. Well, the other thing that's important, I think, as far as Colorado College is concerned, is they get away from that Olympic sheet, the international sheet at the World Arena, which is 100 by 200, and the corners are so deep. And anymore, games are played 200 by 85 in NHL-size rink, even with international players playing in the NHL. You just don't need that international-size rink anymore at the college level.
Of course, World Arena right down there by USA Hockey. A lot of use for figure skating, built for that sort of thing. But it'll definitely benefit CC to have a better opportunity here shortly. What a save right there by Ouellette on a quick opportunity and a beautiful shot by Tanner Doty.
Doty had a goal last night. He was looking for his second consecutive game with a goal here. Local product.
Sean Giles misses an opportunity and a pass, and it's picked back up and come the other way by Chris Jellison inside for the Vigilantes. He'll dish this one over to Taylor Tay. Taylor Tay with it on a stick still. He'll dump it back around now to the stick of Austin Handley. Handley looking to do something with it, but he'll turn it over, and the puck will be hastily tossed into the neutral zone, and the Vigilantes will regain control after the pass misses the stick of Nolan Foote. 2-1. Denver Concrete in a hole right now that they'd like to fill. With the concrete. You see what
I said? That wasn't something you were going to say in game one. Now you're feeling more comfortable. We're starting with the bad stuff now. This is whoa, no.
That was my best Connor McGahey. That was my best Connor McGahey.
I was going to say, whoa, that was a beauty.
Just did a Connor McGahey.
You've been saving that one for you? Don't you love those things when you really, you think, I got a good one, and then you say it and you go, maybe that one.
I was giggling before I said it, boys. That will be the last poor reference I make to Concrete.
Oh my God, it's not going to end.
1:39 to go, 2-1. Denver Concrete down to the Vigilantes, but Nolan Foote trying to sashay his way through the neutral ice and get a shot off. He'll get to the top of the hash marks, and the puck will be turned over and dumped back the other direction. Negated for icing and picked up by Concrete behind their own net. Nolan Foote headmans it out into neutral territory for Tyler Paulson. He's got the goal currently for Concrete. Still on his stick, Nolan Foote wings around the net, tries to stuff it in short side on Colin Bessie, elects to hold. Back to the point, quick shot by number 9. This one coming off the stick of Colby Bukes, and it goes high and wide off the glass. Vigilantes taking it back in their own end to give themselves a little breather. Apologies, we don't have a 5 on our roster, so we'll refer to him as number 5 at the moment. Some jersey swapping before the game, I would imagine.
And it could be Nick DeChero, who was not here yesterday, so perhaps he's here today.
We'll go with number 5 being Nick DeChero at the moment.
Otherwise, he's no name.
Waiting seconds of period 1 continue here, Manny.
And you're going to know for sure that his family's the one family watching.
And they paid for the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Not going to hear the end of that on Twitter. You can just @ Nick Gismondi. Forward all your hate mail. I'm happy to read it later. 17 seconds to go. Face-off coming just to the right of Colin Bessie. It is a 2-1 game.
Peter, you remember you and I did one Avs game.
Yes.
All those years one game together. Do you remember that?
Absolutely. I mean, it was
John Kelly had a throat problem, or had lost his voice. And you and I ended up doing an Avalanche game year 1, 1995, together. That's the only time I ever worked with you, as I remember.
Yeah, it was, because, you and I are both sort of the color guy, but you had always done play-by-play.
I'd always done play-by-play, but with working with Mike, I did color. But then that night I did the play-by-play with you because John Kelly had lost his voice. That's the only time you and I ever worked together. All the years we were with the Avalanche. Can you remember that?
We were. How many years? Did you work for the Avs?
15, I think.
15. So you and I did we see some hockey?
Oh my goodness.
We were talking about probably the I don't even know what the word is really, but certainly the most dramatic games were those Detroit games in the late.
Absolutely.
I mean, and it started. That first year. Honestly, the rival that I thought the Avalanche were going to have was going to be Chicago. I thought that's the one that was going to blossom.
Okay.
Because they'd had far more intense games during the regular season. They had a really tough 6-game series against them. Patrick Roy with the cup stuck in his ear, the ring stuck in his ear. And it looked like that was going to build. And one play, the Lemieux hit on Draper.
Changed everything.
Switched everything, and it became the single. What's funny? I was walking down afterwards, and I had seen the play, but I didn't know how bad Draper had been hurt. I didn't know that it had actually crushed his whole cheek right in. And I saw him come down, and I went, somebody's going to pay for it. I mean, somebody's going to get back for that. That one was a really bad one, and it got crazy. And Norm, maybe you tell me if I'm wrong. The most intense games were always in Joe Louis Arena.
Always.
Ruckus crowd, crazy about that team at the time. It was right around the resurgence of the Red Wings.
And Mike Keane always let Detroit know that we waited till we got to Detroit before you played that way. They just hated each other.
Well, working on the radio side as I did, Joe Louis Arena, not one of my favorite buildings ever. But anyway, they used to put the radio guys outside during the playoffs. And not only did you have to deal...
Not outside, but tell them outside what?
We're in the seats.
In the seats. They were in the seats.
You talk about fans being nasty, too. Because of the rivalry, we had to put up with that.
Yeah.
Well, one year, Mike Haynes had said something about Martin Lapointe, that they played the off day and all day during the game, and they worked them to a lather.
Yeah.
And I must have had 150 people come up to me for, are you Mike Haynes? Are you Mike Haynes? So finally, I knew where Mike and Norm were sitting down to my right. I put a sign. I said, Mike Haynes, and I put an arrow pointing down. So they knew where to go, and they were hunting you down.
So how close were the fans to Mike Haynes? Because I remember him talking about that.
They were sitting right here. You were like they were.
Oh, you were right there. You're right. They were right there in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
They put us out on the seats.
They gave him a couple of seats.
Yeah, that's what it was.
We were sitting right there.
That's incredible. That still happens to this day in the Stanley Cup.
Crummy building at Joe Louis Arena. Crummy building.
My favorite.
Joe Louis
my
Arena.
favorite building where Norm sat was when they had the earthquake in San Jose, and Norm was sitting up top on a seat way as high as the old seat. Not the old, it's still the same San Jose building up top with no cord, no nothing in front of him, and this building starts to shake.
Oh, I know it. It was.
I saw Norm after the game, and he was just white as a
I thought I was going to fall off into the seats. It was absolutely. They put the radio people way up on a platform, way up in the roof. And, boy, it shook us up there. And I thought I was going to go down right into the upper deck there.
I had some precarious broadcast positions in the Ontario Hockey League when I was a play-by-play guy there for years. And a few scary bus rides across the Mackinac Bridge in the middle of the night, too.
Oh, yeah. And the fans are really polite there in the OHL.
Oh, yeah, sure. Real sweet bunch of people for the American kid calling the American team in that league. God bless the Plymouth Whalers. The Vigilantes at Denver Concrete in a good one here with 12 to go in period number 2. A 2-1 lead. The Vigilantes on the board on a tip direction shot in front of the net in period number 1. And since then, it has been a game of catch. No real quality opportunities as of yet, and this one another that doesn't make it all the way through as Denver Concrete fails to find the net. Nolan Foote doing all he can, but so far this game, Peter, he's tried to come to the outside and cut to the front, but they're wise to him now. He's been stopped 3 times.
But you wait. At some point in this game, he's going to be standing off to the left of the goaltender, left-handed shot in the right dot, and he is just going to wire one. I mean, he knows where to go to unleash that shot.
You remember the goal scored by his dad against New Jersey, Game 6 of that series in 2001 in the first period? Patrick Waugh had kept the Avs in the game. They were being dominated. Adam Foote scores a goal late in the first period. It changes the complexion of the whole series.
Should have been.
They win the game and they win Game 7.
Yeah, they should have been 3-0 Jersey. Footer scores from 60 feet.
Yeah, it was amazing how that changed the whole complexion of the game.
Bobby Murphy with a beautiful drop pass to Cole Micker, who gets a shot on net, but Ryan Ouellette comes up with the save. 10:45 to go here at period number 2. Running clock. Game 3 of the morning session here at the Dawg Bowl at Edge Arena. Glad to have you along for this one. Norm Jones joining Peter McNabb and Manny Furtado and myself, Nick Gismondi. Pleasure to have you along here on Shaw Hockey Productions. Face off won by the Vigilantes, but it'll find its way all the way back inside of their zone. Micker will play catch with Shelton, and now headman it up to Alex Corrigan along the left-hand side. Corrigan gets tied up with a Denver Concrete player, and it'll be left on a tee as Nick Hankey making a nice play there. Back the other direction, A.J. Vanderbeck, Northern Michigan University alum. He'll send this one deep inside the zone, and the Vigilantes will pick it back up behind Bessie. Flipped up high all the way to the opposing blue line, where it just escapes the stick of Tanner Doty. Denver Concrete retrieves it from behind their own net, and on a rip right now our Concrete. Quick shot here off the stick of number 25, A.J. Vanderbeck, and it won't find the net. Tyler Poulsen created that play and worked it out of his own zone at full speed. Now the Vigilantes back the other direction. A little too cute at the blue line, but it'll find its way inside Denver Concrete territory. The shot will just go wide of the net and come on out to the top of the point. Vigilantes holding it in, out in front, quick shot, nice save by Ouellette on the quick one by Cole Micker. Concrete, far side now. Matt Somani. Cross this one over, he'll carry it still. Holds puck at the blue line here for the Vigilantes, but Denver Concrete manages to maintain. Nice pass across there, this off the stick with Taylor Tay. Will go just wide of the net, hit high glass. Vigilantes holding on and crossing it through neutral territory. Quick little just chip dump inside Concrete territory, but it'll be retrieved and back the other direction. Well, boys, an interesting game. Played primarily here on the outskirts and in the neutral zone.
Yeah. You know, I still fascinated by how close this thing is, how important these games are to making that next round.
Well, it is an intense hockey game, and a quick shot here by number 27. That's, I'm sorry, I'm back and forth with you here. That's Jimmy Morgan, number 37.
You know, you were talking about Michigan just a moment, mentioned
yes,
Michigan,
sir.
but the Big Ten, I understand Illinois is considering expanding into Division I hockey, another team in the Big Ten. I think it's great when you have that kind of growth in hockey, whatever level it is. And I understand Illinois certainly is a school that's considering going into a Division I program and into the Big Ten.
And they're close. I spent the year in Chicago the last 2 seasons with the Blackhawks, and that certainly, you know, has helped the growth of what's happening there as well. Chicago hockey's got themselves a new youth program now too. That's a powerhouse led by the Tri-City Storm. So the game of hockey, you see it growing on all aspects really across the country in these NHL-centric cities.
Well, one of them, I was in St. Louis this past year for the U.S. Nationals, and Linwood University has a new arena as well in the St. Louis Blues sort of practice facility. And they're looking to go D1 as well, so perhaps they'll pick up one of the spots that's available since Robert Morris drops out.
What an incredible facility that St. Louis Blues venue is.
Their minor hockey in St. Louis is unbelievable. They have a lot of the former St. Louis Blues that live there and train the kids. They have any number of players that are drafted top round. The Kachuks are and
they're running that Junior Blues program.
right.
And then there's Car Shield as well, run by some good former players.
Yep.
Also, it's a talent-full junior hockey out there at St. Louis right now. Face off to the left of Ryan Ouellette of Denver Concrete. 2-1 game, 6:27 to go in period number 2. A close game, but moderately uneventful. Certainly not what we saw between FirstBank and the Dawgs.
That had a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything indeed.
Including a disappearing goaltender. That was
got ghosted hard. Denver Concrete on an absolute rush, and you can't help but see that speed of Tyler Poulsen and what it creates. Concrete looking to get it back up to the point, to the stick of Brian Yoon. It won't make it. Doty now for the Vigilantes along the left side. Throws it to the front of the net. Just misses the stick of Cole Micker. And back the other way come Concrete. Poulsen looking for an opportunity. He gets it at the blue line. Tries to go far side with it. Waiting. Can't quite get the pass. A little bit in front of it. Concrete retrieves back inside of their own zone. Top of the circles. A little too fancy. Puck will slide off the stick of Nolan Foote and back into the corner. Now to the top. Holding and waiting. Denver Concrete slowing down a little patiently. Could use a change here. Nolan Foote on the press along the boards, and he'll throw down a player from the Vigilantes.
That had a little Adam Foote in him.
So you got a 52 down there?
That would be Josh Deloach getting thrown down by number 22. But very Foot-esque on that play there. A little malice towards the aggression.
He got his hands from his mom, and we know what he got from his dad.
Exactly. I mean, he had the greatest. Did he not have the greatest last shift inside a person's personality in the history of the game? The Edmonton Oilers, the last shift.
Yes.
I was talking to the coach of the Edmonton Oilers as it was going on, and he was counting out loud how many penalties. He got to 8. And he said, and he was trying to pretend he was upset, and he couldn't do it. He said, "This is just 2 to Adam Foote."
Oh my goodness.
Denver Concrete trying to tie, and a shot that just goes wide. That was number 44, who also we don't have a number 4, but we'll say number 44 for
we're
Denver
going to say
Concrete.
it's that guy there.
This guy.
Oh, for Denver Concrete, yeah. We'll
some additions late to the roster and some jersey numbers that we just don't quite have, folks. You'll have to apologize the guessing game, but we'll just refer to him as 44 Blue. He's on the far top boards on the right-hand side, but a nice spinorama by number 28 for Denver Concrete, as he'll hold on and dive it deep inside. Now back up to the point for 12, who we do have a jersey number 4. That's Brian Yoon. Tosses it off to the side for number 25, A.J. Vanderbeek. And the shot will go wide. The Vigilantes finally recover inside of their own zone, and will try to work it into neutral territory, but Concrete able to keep the pressure on, and they'll tap it across in front for 44. You won't be able to get it. Dumps it back up to Vanderbeek. Vanderbeek chips it deep inside, and that'll be retrieved by Snedden. Snedden cuts to the front, tries for the backhand. It'll be steered away by Colin Bessie. Well, all the pressure right now for Denver Concrete. They have been inside Vigilantes territory for a solid 2 minutes now.
And they're getting tired.
Well, that makes 2 of us. Back up to the point. Brian Yoon haven't had a stoppage in just a moment. Vanderbeek fires it wide, and the Vigilantes will finally clear. Both teams absolutely at a sluggish pace as Jimmy Morgan tries to just dish it across to Taylor Tay, but unable to do anything with it as both teams on their last gasps of a near 3-minute shift.
You know, the game has really become a speed game now, hockey. And yeah, you know when you played and what it's like now. But even out here today, to watch, not all of them, but there are a couple of guys out here that have pretty good speed in their game.
They just fly.
And it's amazing how that's developed in the game, how much speed now.
The overall skill level is phenomenal. You know, it's not more competitive. It's not more, you don't try any harder, but the skill level of the kids is just ridiculous, and it gets better every year.
Denver Concrete will fire one up into the wrong netting, which will stop the play in the way they don't want with 1:55 to go in a 2-1 game. Matt Salmony So the faceoff will come just outside of the zone and to the left of Colin Bessie of the Vigilantes. Faceoff one here by Denver Concrete, not clean though. It'll be back and picked up by Sean Giles behind his own net. So Giles will hold now. Works that puck up through neutral ice onto the stick of Nick Hankey. Fires one through traffic, stopped by Cole Micker. Nice defensive play. Micker will be tripped up, but we won't have a ball. And this shot will fire just wide as number 27, Bo Hansen, takes one off the hands and will quickly make his way to the concrete bench for a look to make sure he's got 5 digits still on that left appendage. Top deep inside, 1:09 to go. Doc Emmerich that a little bit right there.
Yeah.
Deep inside now, the Vigilantes back with the puck. Beautiful backhand pass by number 5, who we think is Nick DeShero, but we do not know certainly. Now it's number 27, Bobby Murphy, who I can assuredly tell you is that name. A chance in front here for 2, Joe Gillette, but the pass won't make it through, and back the other way comes Concrete. Jack Dormus fires one in, somehow finds its way away from the net as Colin Bessie was scrambling. The puck slid behind him. Another quick crack at it there, but it won't go all the way through again. And Colin Bessie coming up big in the final moments, and another shot by Dorans, DU alum, and another save by Colin Bessie, boys.
Bessie has been every game, hasn't it been? One of the goaltenders has just been
absolutely terrific. Yes.
Absolutely terrific.
Well, we get asked all the time, what's it take to win a Stanley Cup? And my comment is, from watching as a broadcaster, is you got to have a goalie that's going to stand on his head at times. And same thing goes for here. You got guys like Bessie coming up huge. You had guys in every single game coming up massive. And I think throughout what we've seen here today, at least this morning, the goaltenders have told the story.
They have been the difference. There was a 6-1 game where the one goaltender was just spectacular, the other goaltender was ordinary. And it was a game that should have been, 4-3, whatever. And it turned out to be 6-1 and it was just a dominant performance by the goalie.
Yeah, it's a great point. If you don't have that kind of goaltending in a playoff atmosphere, you're in trouble.
I am going to be stunned. Or what do you think the over/under of goals scored is going to be per game? Vasilevsky versus Corey Perry. Oof. The way those two clubs can play. Oof. You could be talking every game 1-0, 2-1.
Yeah,
100%. They're going to be.
Absolutely.
I think you're not going to see a blowout game in that Stanley Cup final. I don't think.
Unless one game, maybe Montreal takes some penalties and that Tampa Bay power play makes it 4 or 5-1. That might happen. But other than that, Montreal I don't think is going to score more than 2-3 a game.
You wouldn't expect that from them.
And again. But that's to be expected inside of a year where nothing has gone according to
well,
to
the
plan.
lowest scoring team going into the playoffs, Montreal. You just don't imagine that they're going to score a lot of goals.
Right,
so they've got to be very good as they were in the other series defensively. And it starts in goal.
And I mean, listen, give Carey Price all the accolades for doing what he's done so far in this playoffs. He's pulling it off. And I remember the Kings in 12. It was Jonathan Quick that stood on his head and was just spectacular. So you need a guy that's going to come up big for you if things don't go right.
Speaking of needing a guy to come back big, here's Denver Concrete. They were heavily favored coming in here. They're trailing by a goal. And let's see if they try and grip the stick a little bit here as they need one here with under 12 minutes. But we do have a stop clock, though, Peter.
Yep.
Well, Denver Concrete, the 3-time champion, back-to-back, down by a goal in this one in a crucial game for them. They can punch their ticket with a win this afternoon. They find themselves trailing after getting off to a fast start. The Vigilantes not going away, putting all the pressure on offensively here now. Alex Corrigan, thanks to whoever was tuning in to help us out with the number 44 in blue. That's Matt Meyer. We appreciate the assistance.
It's funny, I'm looking down and they've got Heather Karras' family seats for them all to sit to watch the next game. The next game is a Survivor game, the game that she so desperately wanted to play in, and unfortunately it just didn't work out, obviously, and that's going to be
a lot of emotions behind that game, for sure.
That will be a very, very hard moment.
part of the reason why this event is so important and so essential, and it's my hat goes off to all involved in this effort. It's special. It's great to be a part of, and it keeps things in perspective, especially in the world that we currently live in right now. 10 to go. Glad to have you along on this one. Manny Furtado stepping out for a moment. Norm Jones, Peter McNabb, and myself, Nick Gizmondi, glad to be along with you here on this one. A beautiful day in Colorado and a beautiful event. As Denver Concrete trails by 1, trying to get themselves to even in a crucial game. Puck is worked around to the outside, 9:40 to play. Concrete fires a shot in. This one will just go wide of the net, off the stick of number 25, A.J. Vanderbeck. Back inside Concrete territory, held on to by Sean Giles. He'll hold. Neutral ice for Vanderbeck. Vanderbeck back inside, now the other direction. Concrete working in, and Vanderbeck has been a catalyst, throws it in front, loose puck on the stick of 10, backhand shot, scores! Sean Giles on the play by Tyler Polson to tie the game at 2 with 9:21 to go in period 3.
I'll tell you, when you watch the highlight of this one, the goaltender almost got it. He almost. The puck comes through. Now watch him with the glove hand. He just misses it again. The goaltender coming up with wide with Polson. I mean, just another quick, smart shot.
What a save that would have been by Colin Vesey, and it wouldn't have even been his best of the afternoon thus far. All right, so Concrete with it now. Emboldened by the goal, tied at 2. Right back in this game. Sent around, the Vigilantes will hold behind their own net and fire this one high into neutral ice. High sticking, that's negated by the touch. And now it's on the stick of Jesse Shelton. Shelton dumps it across to Bobby Murphy, fires one in, and Ryan Ouellette with a big save of his own on the other end. Oh, goaltenders again. Well, it looks like we know what we're talking about here, Naver. Tell the story.
But I'm looking at the benches. I don't see any coaches.
You're right. I don't either.
These guys are doing a great job of keeping this thing going.
I don't see a coach either.
Managing themselves out there.
Exactly. You know, doing a heck of a job. You would have thought there'd be too many men on the ice, or.
I mean, even just to have a guy for a little bit of strategy to give you that 100-foot view, right? To separate it a touch, to be able to kind of sort of guide a little bit. I saw DC was listed as a coach for the Dawgs, but I did not see him behind the bench.
I didn't see him.
So coaching from afar.
Well, just the pregame.
He's on Zoom.
Pregame conversation. Yeah. Pregame bump. Go get it, guys.
Go get him, fellas. The classic rah-rah. 8:15 to go, period 3, tied at 2. Glad to have you along. The Dog Bowl here from Edge Ice Arena in the foothills of Colorado. Quick shot in front, Concrete with a massive save as the Vigilantes, Alex Corrigan on the doorstep to put himself and his team up 3-2.
Just handed the puck in a perfect position, slot area. Just handed it to him.
Yeah, the classic hand on head after you miss a shot like that. You can't believe that you threw away that opportunity.
Corrigan thinking about that one, had time, space, and a wide open net to bury it in, and went high and off the glass. So high, in fact, that it stopped play from hitting the net. Face-off was won by the Vigilantes and drawn back into neutral territory. They'll recover and dump back deep. Ouellette out of his net to play it. Leaves it on a tee, but that finds some resistance as the Vigilantes being tough to play in down low. Jack Dorrance found himself in a little bit of trouble, and he struggled to get it out, but manages to headman it up to Nolan Foote. He'll dish it back off to Dorrance, cuts to the middle on the stick of number 11. Quick shot, rebound, save, and he'll hold on as Nick Hankey with a golden opportunity as well on the doorstep.
And there wasn't many chances. Now we've seen a great one at one end, great one at the other.
The game of hockey, gentlemen, changes oh so quickly. Faceoff coming to the right of Colin Vesey. This is won by the Vigilantes and whacked around the boards by Austin Handley. Kept in by Concrete, and they'll try to work it out down low. Good work by Handley, though, to try to help the puck escape from the zone, and he'll do so, only to be picked up by Bo Hansen in neutral ice for Concrete. Chip pass to number 11, Nick Hankey. He'll send it cross ice, and they'll work this one up to Nolan Foote. Nolan Foote, right side. He's got Hansen on the left, tried to feed it across. Bessie got a piece. Now back in front, high flip, chance here. All the way down, it will be the Vigilantes, number 71, but he's pushed off Josh DeLoach.
Good defensive play there.
Couldn't quite get a stick on it. Great defensive play. That's the kind of effort you need, Norm. Denver Concrete, far right side. Throw it in front, they'll score! It hits something in front of the net, but a wayward pass from the far side has put Denver Concrete up by a score of 3-2 with 6:31 to go.
You just never know, do you? You know the old saying, throw the puck at the net, good things happen. And there's no way that should have gone in from that angle. Oh, Hansen.
He puts it on net, does it? Did somebody hit it, or the goaltender just maybe misplay that one?
Perhaps a tip.
Yeah.
We didn't quite get a great look at it. It certainly wasn't intended to be a shot. I believe he was just trying to throw it to the crease. Now Denver Concrete really on fire, trailing for much of this game, have found themselves in the lead with 6 to play. Lots of importance on this. Semifinal implications on the line here at the Edge Ice Arena in the foothills of Colorado. Norm Jones, Peter McNabb, Nick Gismondi on the call with you here. Pleasure to be with you. Puck is deep inside the corner and entangled in a mass of legs. It finds its way to the stick of number 5, Sean Giles from Robert Morris University. He'll work this puck through neutral ice. Good chip pass across to Mike Hankey, and it'll be picked off and moved the other direction. A golden opportunity for Joe Gillet, but it just got hung up on his stick, and it'll come back inside Vigilantes territory. He would have been on his own.
He had to control it on the backhand, just couldn't quite do it.
Bounced
that
over
pass.
his stick a little there, yep. Denver Concrete now inside their own end, patiently working it outside and through neutral territory. This will go to the far side, working in, shot scores! Brian Yoon, the Colorado College alum, puts this game up by a score of 2 on a beautiful shot from the far right top circle.
Well, that was one of the ones that was just a great shot. He walked in on the far side, and the goalie, obviously saw it the whole way. Just a perfect shot up over the pad. Now there's a big hill to climb now.
Well, the Vigilantes found themselves up by 1, now down by 2 in just a few mere flicks of the stick. And this game has been turned on its head with under 5 to play. It is a stop clock here in period number 3, but I don't know, boys. It's going to be an exciting finish.
Well, we've had maybe as an exciting a finish as you're going to see last game, and now, but no question we need one right here in the next couple of minutes.
Well, the Vigilantes are not out of this fight yet. They've had their opportunities. Ryan Ouellette, the goaltender, standing on his head, but they're going to need something fast as the clock becoming as much of an enemy as Denver Concrete is. They with the puck now back inside. It's Brian Hawkinson with it. He'll loop it around onto the stick of number 24, Austin Stetton. He'll chip one in, and Colin Bessie will hold the puck in his glove and get the whistle with just 4:40 here to play.
Important save there, obviously, with the game turning around.
One more, it's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah.
Face off won by the Vigilantes, but the puck escapes to the blue line, and it's held in well by Bo Hansen of Denver Concrete. He'll chip it down deep, and in to retrieve is Austin Sneddon. Sneddon back up to Hansen. Hansen to the net through traffic, doesn't make it all the way through. Bessie had his defenseman help him out there. Puck still inside Concrete territory. Now it's back around the far left side, waiting for something to happen here. They need some forward movement. A little bit of a fancy chip and chase play right there by number 27, Bobby Murphy, but wasn't able to escape the puck. Now the Vigilantes with a 3-on-2 onto the stick of Austin Handley. Tosses it over to the side for number 5, Nick DeShero. Was not able to do anything with it. Vigilantes still controlling. Little chip to the front of the net. They got themselves caught down low in the zone, so they'll try to come up high to it to Josh DeLoach. Really unable to do anything after some good pressure by Denver Concrete. Now 3:37 to go. 4-2 the score. still hemmed inside of their own end. The pressure that Denver Concrete has now been able to create from a defensive standpoint has definitely put the Vigilantes back on their heels now.
Yeah, they're making good, smart plays. And again, I just get back to the fact that these guys haven't played together, and yet they're just making, they're getting into good spots. They're getting open for the man to move the puck to them. And again, you look at the coaching for these kids over time. Positionally, they know what to do. They're on a completely brand new hockey club, and they're just going to the right spots.
Cobbled together weeks before the tournament, no time to practice, finding their other players, finding those connections, building that chemistry fast. It is a testament to where they played and who they've played for to be able to establish that in really no time at all.
I remember there's Charlie Conacher, a friend of mine, played. He's going to be a coach in the American Hockey League, and he said, "Okay, I just want to watch you guys scrimmage." And he dropped the puck, and all the kids went into a perfect defensive posture. And he said, "Wait a minute, I wanted you guys to be creative, creative." And the kids were like, "No, this is the way we play. We know what to do. We know what to do defensively." And so, but that's the way that the kids are nowadays. They know how to play hockey.
It is a fun game to be a part of, and it is a fun game to watch, and it is a sport that I know the three of us owe a whole heck of a lot to, and we'll probably spend the rest of our days coming up with creative ways to pay it back, but I don't know as though I'll even that ledger, boys.
No, I don't. You have to be very creative.
Yeah. Jack Dorrance works it inside for Denver Concrete. Bessie forced to make another big save here in the waning moments. Under 120 seconds to play in this massive game that is in the third period. 4-2 the score. Chance in front, and it was number 10, Tyler Polson, with a little bit of a dance at the hash marks, and that will end Colin Bessie's night. He heads to the bench as the Vigilantes get an extra attacker on for the 6-on-5 with 1:30 left to play in this one, down by 1. Cole Mickle happy to just hold on. Over to Chris Jellison. Jellison at the top of the far left circle tries for something, hasty change, and an opportunity here for Nolan Foote to the empty net. He'll work and fire this one that just misses the far left post. That would salt the game away. 65 seconds to go here in the Denver Concrete Vigilantes game. Could be an exciting finish. The Vigilantes need one fast. They have the goaltender pulled, working it to the far side now. Slow and steady on the stick of number 17. He'll work it up. Now over to number 7, Cole Micker. Micker works in hash marks, can't get past Colby Bukes. Vigilantes behind the net. That's number 25, Handley, trying to do something with it. Couldn't. Still with pressure. Chris Jellison in the corner. Dumps it down low to Alex Corrigan. Corrigan fires it around the boards. Waiting on the far side. That is number 10, Tyler Paulson. He'll fire this the length of the ice, and we'll get a stoppage of play on the icing with 27.3 on the clock, and the Vigilantes down by 2.
It's not a big play, not a big moment, but that is one of the interesting things that's changed. You never used to shoot at an empty net.
Sure.
No.
And I mean, that was
not that far away.
That was a cardinal sin. Now they do it all the time.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't 1 goal, 2 goal, it doesn't matter. They're just firing it down the ice.
Yep.
And more often than not, it goes in.
Oh, I know. It's part of the skill set of these kids, but still, I can remember thinking, if I had ever done that and missed the net and forced an icing,
the ice
ever.
Final 10 seconds here, and the Vigilantes will need a miracle. It will not come to be as the clock will run to 0, and a last shot hits his own teammate to add a little bit of injury to insult. A final score of 4-2, and the 3-time reigning champion Denver Concrete comes away with a victory that also punches their ticket into the semifinals.
And they look strong, and they look stronger as the game went along. So, now it gets down to matchups. It'd be interesting to see, who's going to play who, because there have been some. You can see who the better clubs are at this point, and it's going to be fun.
Now, the Dog Bowl is an extraordinary event every year that not only does amazing things but presents incredible hockey. It was a pleasure to be a part of 3 games with you gentlemen today. Honestly, an absolute honor,
so
boys.
well, listen, thank you so much. It's, I'm looking forward to the next. I'm going to watch the next one, the Survivor game. That one is going to be it's always so much fun, and the energy in that one is different than any other game at the Dawg Bowl.
It'll be chock full of emotions for all of the right reasons, and an opportunity to celebrate and to support, Norm.
Well, it's just a great event by Dawg Bowl to raise the kind of money that's needed to give to the very needy. It's just it's very special, Dawg Nation and the work they do.
Nobody in life gets exactly what they thought they're going to get, but if you work really hard and you're kind, amazing things happen. And I feel as though what Marty and the Dawg Bowl does exemplifies that to a perfect T.
If you're watching right there, you're seeing that a makeshift screen is coming up, and they're going to have some pictures of Heather and the family are going to be shown in that. So that's what that is. That's appearing on the camera.
Stay tuned here for all the coverage throughout the rest of the weekend. Gentlemen, any final thoughts before we say so long?
Just again, fascinating with the skill level, the compete level. Just they're out here just having fun. But it was enjoyable to watch. It really was. And thank you so much for doing such a great job. It was just a great afternoon.
Pleasure to be here, Norm.
Well, for me, it's just great to be back with you guys. I mean, it's been a few years since I've stepped away, and it really is fun to kind of put the headset back on and get into some hockey conversation, watch some good hockey. So I just appreciate the opportunity. It's, as I say, it's been a few years. So.
Well, Norman, you didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, well, thank you for that.
You both are legends and institutions here in Colorado hockey in the broadcast world, and it's my pleasure to be with you. Norm Jones, Peter McNabb, I'm Nick Gismondi. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to Dawg Nation for having us, and thank you to Shaw Hockey Productions for letting us be a part of this and for putting on an incredible product. The Survivor game is next. For Norm and Peter, I'm Nick Gismondi. So long from the Edge Arena in the foothills of Colorado.
Thank you for watching. I'm Todd Gerke, the official mortgage company sponsor of Dawg Nation in partnership with Shaw Hockey Productions. Stay tuned for more great coverage of the Dawg Bowl. We'll see you at the next face-off.